improve your memory. I should have perfect memory then. We'll be right back on Good Day.
New York City is delivering for you every day, everywhere. Major crime is down citywide. A record number of new homes have been created, and a brand new universal after-school program is available for our kids. With safer streets and thriving small businesses, NYC is delivering for families, making this the best place to raise yours. Find out more at deliveringforyou.nyc.
I love this new survey. Dark chocolate might temporarily sharpen your memory.
Researchers in Japan discovered that when mice consumed a compound found in dark chocolate, it released a chemical connected to focus and alertness. That compound, called flavanols, led the mice to perform 30% better on memory tests compared to mice who didn't eat it. Flavanols can also be found in some fruits like berries, green or black tea, and red wine.
Okay, that's fine. So
Happy Valentine's Day. Basically, red wine and chocolate.
So the more chocolate you eat, the sharper you are?
Dark chocolate, apparently.
Okay.
So, yeah, go for it, girl.
I am.
All right, Apple has unveiled its newest invention. It's a special pocket for your phone.
So the tech company is teaming up with fashion designer Issey Miyake to release the iPhone Pocket. Okay, that's kind of cool. It's a 3D knitted over-the-body strap designed to carry iPhones of any size. The Pocket comes in two lengths, a short strap for about $150, a long one for $230. The new accessory will be sold at select stores around the world and online starting on Friday. What do you think?
Can't you just put it in your pocket or your purse?
I like holding it. I don't know. If I'm going to put it in that pocket, I'll put it in my bag.
Right. That's what I'm like.
I don't know. Because my bag now has a little side pocket.
Yeah.
Now.
Or a pocket in your jacket or something. But hey.
Okay, it looks cool. I guess
it's a
nice holiday gift.
Just in time for the holidays. How about that? You know what? It could be a while, though, before we find out just how many jobs were created or lost over the last recent months. Economists at Morgan Stanley used the 2013 shutdown to estimate when monthly employment reports could be coming out. If the government opens on Friday, they see the September report coming out November 19th, which is next Wednesday, but they don't really expect the October's job report to come out until December 8th. Generally, the November report would be out before that in December on the 5th. ADP and Goldman Sachs both expect to see job losses for both months whenever the reports come out.
Well, the holiday season might not be so festive if you're looking for a job. On jobs site Indeed, the number of job seekers looking for holiday work in September was up 27% compared to last year, but the number of job postings from retailers was down 15%. And according to job placement firm Challenger, Gray and Christmas, through October, large companies announced plans to hire over 372,000 holiday workers. That's down, though, from over 660,000 last year, and it's the lowest since the firm began tracking holiday hires in 2012. And 3 Bob Ross paintings were auctioned off for big bucks in an effort to raise money for public television stations.
Yeah, you may remember that President Trump signed an executive order in May to end public funding for the National Public Radio and PBS. Well, the paintings were a part of Bob Ross's show, The Joy of Painting. They were painted between 1990 and 93. Bids for the paintings were expected to range from between $25,000 and $50,000, but the 3 sold yesterday for a total of more than $600,000. A total of 30 of Ross's paintings are expected to be sold at some point at different auctions along the way.
Okay, coming up right here on Good Day. You might notice a change next time you're shopping at Target.
The new requirements for employees when interacting with customers. But is this really a welcome change, especially for New Yorkers? We'll take you to the street.
Oh, I loved this video.
I was just about to say, I can't hear this song without thinking of the video.
And the videos everybody did.
Yeah.
To this song.
It's amazing. As soon as you hear it, all of a sudden you get the little stutter step, the side step.
When did this come out, by the way?
2008, on this very day.
Wow.
It was from her third studio album, I Am Sasha Fierce. It featured the single single ladies.
Do you remember it was like a whole thing?
Oh, I remember for sure.
I know you know some of those dances. Give me a little something.
And I was...
A little something.
My wife and I weren't married at that point either, so...
Oh, was she singing the song to you?
Well, I'm just saying. I know that song rather well. Let's just put it that way.
Well, it worked. Thank you, Beyonce. All right, 7:30 in the morning. Continue, Curt and Rosanna Scotto.
I'm Curt Menefee. We appreciate you being with us here. Audrey Puente joins us right now. Audrey, you remember that song and that video?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. My favorite rendition is Justin Timberlake's on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yes, that was good.
That was fabulous. Yeah, you're right.
Hysterical. It might be worth we have to pull that one up and take a look. All right, folks, let's talk about the temperature trend that we're experiencing over the U.S. here. We're seeing above normal temperatures still out to the west. They'll have readings about 25 degrees above normal for this time of year. That sounds nice. We're still going to be below normal here on the East Coast. However, it won't be quite as biting as it was yesterday. In fact, we're already at 40 degrees in Central Park. Keep in mind, yesterday's high was 41, so we're off to a good start here. We're at 41 in Islip. It's 39 in Bridgeport, 36 up at Poughkeepsie, a little colder over towards Monticello. All of these temperatures, though, are running around average between 5 and 10 degrees warmer than they were at this time yesterday, and our winds have come down quite a bit. We were gusting up to 60 miles per hour in parts of Long Island yesterday. Right now, the winds are relatively light, a little breezy at times. We'll have gusts up to 30 miles per hour. But what's important to note here is the southwest wind flow. That's bringing in some milder temperatures across the region, and that's why we're seeing readings a little higher than we did on Tuesday here. We had a couple of sprinkles earlier. Those have quickly shifted off to the east. We have a cloud deck in place, but there's some brightening here and there. Generally, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds today, but we could get some snow flurries grazing northern portions of Sullivan, Ulster, and Dutchess counties. That's about it. We're going to see pretty much a quiet weather pattern today and a much milder one. I put that in quotes. We're still below normal for this time of year, but that 51 will feel good later this afternoon in Central Park. Tonight, we drop down to 41 in the city. We'll have 30s in the suburbs, and we stay below normal for the rest of the week, but will be predominantly dry. Our next chance of rain comes in on Saturday night. That will linger into the early part of Sunday. That's a check of your weather. Now let's check the commute with Jeff.
All right, Audrey, the tough ride continues at the inbound Lincoln Tunnel this morning. Big jam off Route 3 and the Turnpike Eastern Spur. Look at Route 3 jammed all the way back past MetLife Stadium, and heavy delays heading out of Secaucus this morning up towards 495. The issue is a crash investigation on the westbound side. All lanes still shut down heading out towards Kennedy Boulevard. So again, as you head outbound at the Lincoln, you're going to get detoured off that westbound side of 495. Live look there. And it also impacts the exclusive bus lane. That's also closed heading for the inbound Lincoln this morning. Inbound George, 45 up, 30 down. The inbound Holland is at least a 30-minute delay off the Skyway as you head up to the Pulaski this morning. There's a northbound crash in Newark on 1 and 9. And you've also got a jam into Brooklyn right now for a westbound crash on the belt heading out to Knapp Street. A lot of heavy traffic backs up beyond Flatbush Ave. Curt and Rosanna.
Okay, thank you so much, Jeff. So as Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani's administration prepares to take office, there could be some controversy over the first day on the job.
It involves an invitation that was extended by current Mayor Eric Adams. Robert Moses is here to break down the subterfuge.
Curt and Rosanna, we thought the drama was over with Election Day, right? It's not over just yet. Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani will be in Harlem later on this morning for the grand opening of the Urban League Empowerment Center. He takes office on New Year's Day, 50 days from today. And an intriguing storyline for that day is starting to take shape. Outgoing Mayor Eric Adams plans to travel to Israel Friday. He says he wants to invite Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to visit the city on, wait for it, yes, you guessed it, New Year's Day. City Councilwoman Ina Vernikov, who is a Republican who supported former Governor Andrew Cuomo, also invited Netanyahu to visit the city on that day. Why is that significant? Well, on the campaign trail, Mamdani promised to direct the NYPD, assuming he won, to arrest Netanyahu if he sets foot in the city because of the arrest warrant the International Criminal Court issued last year for the prime minister's alleged war crimes in Gaza. The U.S. doesn't recognize the ICC. However, Mamdani has said that he believes in upholding international law. So, will he follow through with arresting Netanyahu? Hard to say, but it sounds like Mayor Adams is practically daring him.
I want him to invite him to join me on January 1st here in New York so we could see this rich Jewish community we have here.
I think the mayor is free to spend his final days and weeks and months as he so pleases.
Because people yell at you.
The mayor has slammed Mamdani over any number of issues. He says he plans to meet with him soon to ensure that there's an effective transition at City Hall.
I spoke with him the other day. We're going to set up a time to sit down so I could debrief him on, what it's about running the city. I want him to succeed. He's going to be the new pilot, and I don't want him to crash. I want him to land the plane and guide us through the turbulent times.
Some other transition notes to discuss. Mamdani says that he would be willing to speak with President Donald Trump if there's a conversation to be had that would benefit New Yorkers. Nothing set just yet. Also, Mamdani says he remains confident in his decision to retain Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, although we caution she still has not confirmed if she is staying on in her capacity. And finally, according to the Post, Mamdani is considering hiring Stephen Banks as the city's top lawyer. That name could be familiar to you. Banks served under Mayor Bill de Blasio as Commissioner of the Department of Social Services. And if Banks is brought on, that would continue the trend of many de Blasio alumni joining this new administration. Rosanna and Curt, back to you.
Lots to keep our eyes on over the next 50 days. Like you said, it didn't end on Election Day. Thank you very much, Robert. Meanwhile, President John F. Kennedy's grandson is getting into politics.
My name is Jack Schlossberg, and I'm running for Congress to represent my home, New York's 12th Congressional District, where I was born and raised, where I took the bus to school every single day, from one side of the district to the other.
All right, that's Caroline Kennedy's son. He's 32 years old. He is officially launching his campaign today. He's looking to fill the seat vacated by Congressman Jerry Nadler, who announced in September that after 17 terms in Congress, he's not going to look for re-election. The 12th district includes Manhattan's Upper West Side, Upper East Side, Midtown. Mr. Schlossberg has gained a large following on social media, weighing in on national issues, including taking aim at his cousin, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. We're going to keep an eye on that race. So far, Jerry Nadler has not endorsed anybody. Smile, right? How you doing? Can I get you something?
Are you working
at Target? I think I could hang out at Target. They're rolling out a new policy for the employees.
You got to work it if you're going to work there. It's going to require workers to be more friendly to customers and do things like wave, make eye contact, smile. Good Day's Crystal Young on the Upper East Side to find out what shoppers think. I really wonder how this is going to go over, particularly here in New York. Crystal?
And you know what? That is a great question. New York is a very interesting ecosystem. It's like no other city. Everyone is always really busy. So will this work in New York City? I am getting mixed reaction out here. Well, the policy is being rolled out for the holidays, and it's called the 10-4 policy. So think about it like this, like 10-4, like the police term, like we see you, we got you. And here's what it entails. If you go into a Target store and you're within 10 feet of an employee, then they have to smile or maybe wave. But if you get within 4 feet, then they really have to initiate interaction. So we wanted to know, do people think it's a good idea or it's a bad idea? I can tell you this, we spoke to a marketing expert earlier who said, I don't know about this policy, and out here, it really does depend on who you ask. Take a listen.
I think when you release your rules for how your disgruntled employees should treat their guests, you're preparing the guests for some really awkward and sort of false, forced interactions. And so I think it's going to, at least in the short run, increase the discomfort that people feel when they walk into the store, because things will feel off.
It increases hospitality. You know?
Okay.
It could draw people in more, because I've been in Targets before and, haven't gotten the best treatment before, so
Okay.
Not totally against it.
I mean, sure. I don't really care what.
Okay. All right, but wait, would you like it, or would you think it's like a little odd, or do you think it's necessary? It's for the holidays.
For the holidays, sure. Do whatever you want.
I love that energy, and it definitely brings people into the store if they have time for it.
Okay, so there you have it. It all depends on who you ask. Some people, it doesn't matter. It's not going to necessarily make me want to go to a Target to get the smiles. I feel like New Yorkers, we're also sort of a cautious bunch, If you're like smiling and waving, I'm looking behind me like, me? what do you want? But there you have it. It's called 10-4, and you can expect it if you go into a Target store. One is right behind me, so I guess the jury's out. We'll wait to see. All right, I'm going to toss it back inside to both of you, Curt and Rosanna.
Well, one thing it's done is it spurred conversation. We were
Third
debating
Avenue.
during that whole piece right there whether or not you want to be bothered. Like sometimes you get in the store, you're just like, let me get my stuff and let me out of here.
I know, but you also want people who are professional. I feel like we've gotten to that point. Now, I know I've talked to you about it. Thank you so much, Crystal. But my brother-in-law, when he opened up the Barclays Center, they brought in the Disney organization to train the people who work there how to be courteous, where to show people where they go.
To me, that's different than when I go to get a tube of toothpaste.
If it's locked up here.
Well, that's another issue. So that's all I need is for you to pay attention to me. I don't need you to smile and give me a fake smile. You know, I'm officer friendly. I love friendly people, but I don't think it's necessary to go fake being friendly to that person because they may come back to our store again. People, just because they're working and aren't smiling doesn't mean they're disgruntled. It's like other people just like, they're in their zone like you're in your zone. If you need me, I'm here.
I just feel like we've gotten to a point we have to train everybody to do their jobs.
I don't think all people that work are bad people either. And
No,
just
I'm
because
not
they're
saying
not
that,
smiling, they're
but
disgruntled.
some people are very, very, and my son, one of them, distracted with the phone.
Well,
anyway,
that's another issue.
Yeah. All right, so pay attention. Coming up, more of your top stories right here on Good Day.
And we're going to talk about a garden party. Speaking of basketball and getting people into arenas, the Knicks want you to come to the Garden because they're cranking them out win by win by win by win.
All righty, 7:44, rush hour. Here's some top stories if you're heading out the door. The government shutdown is now in its 43rd day, but could today be the day it ends? The House is expected to vote later today on the funding bill that the Senate approved on Monday. Now, if the House approves the legislation, President Trump expected to sign it, ending the shutdown.
Well, airlines in the U.S. canceled more than 800 flights so far today. This due to ongoing staffing shortages. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says travel should improve within 24 hours of the government reopening whenever that happens.
No one won the jackpot for last night's Mega Millions drawing, but there was one $3 million winner right here in New York. We don't know where. Curt's keeping it a secret. Last night, the winning numbers were 10, 13, 40, 42, 46. Mega Ball was 1. Definitely not my numbers. The jackpot risen now to $965 million, and that will happen on Friday.
Could I get that all in small bills, please?
You can't even buy a nice apartment, though, for $3 million.
$3 million,
not in the city.
And what are you going to get, like 1.2 out
I
of
think
that?
you can get a studio.
Yeah, exactly.
But we won't complain.
Yeah, you can get Knicks tickets, maybe, a few of those.
Well, maybe not playoff tickets,
But not
regular
playoff.
season
And
tickets.
by the way, not the wood seats.
Yeah,
not
not on the
floor.
courtside seat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there, you have to pay
exactly. Well,
big
you
money.
want to be at a Knicks game right now. They're good at home. They're good, period.
You're going to have a good time at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, so the Knicks were back at the Garden last night hosting the Memphis Grizzlies, and they made a little history, shooting a record 55 three-pointers, making 22 of them, as they surpassed a former team record of 54 three-point attempts set back in 2021. Yes, Mike Brown, his impact being seen on the court. Oh, by the way, they also kept going to the rim. Look at Karl Anthony Towns. He even broke his defender's ankles. Nice putback there. New York up by 3. Third quarter, Knicks now up 20 points. Josh Hart, great pass to OG Anunoby for the slam. The lead was up to 22 points. Now, the Grizzlies did cut the Knicks lead to 10 in the fourth, but Jalen Brunson, he came up clutch. There's one of those 55 three-pointers. Brunson, well, three-point attempts, I should say. They made 21. Brunson was 6 of 9 from 3. Knicks win their 5th straight, 133 to 120, and remain undefeated in 7 games at home. As for the Nets, they were home in Brooklyn taking on the Toronto Raptors. Now, Nick Claxton and Michael Porter Jr. each had 21 points for the Nets, but it wasn't enough. This team is rebuilding. They are young, and yes, they lost again, 119 to 109 to the Raptors. Brooklyn has lost 10 of its first 11 games to start this year. They're winless in 6 games at home. But it's a good atmosphere still there at Barclays Center. All right, let's talk a little NFL football. The New York Jets will take on division rival and current leader in the AFC East, the New England Patriots, tomorrow night in Foxborough on Thursday Night Football. Jets head coach Aaron Glenn was not giving anything away when he met with the media yesterday, declining to say who will start at quarterback between Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor, as well as not sharing any information about the severity or timetable of Garrett Wilson's knee injury. But the Jets are in a good spot right now. They are looking for their 3rd straight win after beating Cleveland this past Sunday. The Jets defense had 6 total sacks versus the Browns. Linebacker Jermaine Johnson, he had 1 of them. And this coming after Johnson wrote a really long, powerful social media post following the trades of his defensive teammates Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. He both said he was, quote, sick about the trade, but was still committed to being part of helping the Jets get better as a franchise. So I asked Jermaine about the reaction to his post.
If you really want to go far in whatever you do in life, you got to do it for something bigger than yourself. And, you know, when I got drafted here, you know, I was very excited to give my all in part to change this. And, you know, as long as I'm here, that's never going to stop. And I think everybody's adopted that mindset or has already had it. But I think that's kind of how everybody's attacking this thing is, you know, leave something better than you found it.
You can hear more of our conversation tomorrow night on the Jets local pregame show, starting at 7:30 with kickoff at 8:15 p.m. right here on Fox 5. He's a very thoughtful young man. His answers were really inspirational and deep. So,
you know, one of the things I love about doing these pregame shows and things like this, people get to see these players as people.
Yeah, the other side of that.
Yeah, particularly NFL players, because they're in a helmet and pads, and they're just a uniform. You get a chance to actually see good personalities
and a
find out who they are.
different emotion than you see after games, because they're all hyped up, whether it's a loss, they're upset, a win, they're on that high. So you get a different emotion when they're in that focused zone.
So 7:30 tomorrow right here on Fox 5.
Right here.
Nice.
Thank you. When we come back, we've got entertainment news, and we're going to get our first look at the new Toy Story movie.
Okay, plus Sabrina Carpenter. She's going down a rabbit hole, so to speak, in a new movie musical based on a classic story. Can you guess what we're talking about? Ryan Christopher has the answer when we come right back.
We know we can't change everything you don't like about shopping, but here at Stop & Shop, we're going all out to improve what we can.
Thank you.
We've seen you doing finger math in the store, but no more of that. You deserve a better way to save.
Heck yeah, I do.
With over 10,000 items always on sale, it's time we actually loved grocery shopping.
Justin, when was the last time you went on break?
I'm on break right now. With so many ways to save, good things are in store at Stop.
Good morning, everyone. We're starting off pretty decent across the region this morning. We're already at 40 degrees in Central Park. We're in the 30s across New England. We're faring better to our south here, where Philly's at 42, and it's 40 degrees in Atlantic City. So not as biting as it was yesterday morning at this time. We're not seeing much snow either. That's off to the north here with some lake effect snow showers. They could graze northern portions of Sullivan, Ulster, and Dutchess counties. We had a couple of sprinkles come across Long Island earlier, but everything's kind of pivoting its way out towards New England, and we're going to be left with a mix of sun and clouds as we move along through our Wednesday. We're looking at a high of 51 degrees. That will feel nice, and it's 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. 52 for tomorrow, and it still will be quite windy. It'll be breezy, in fact, right through Friday. Over the weekend, we get a little cooler on Saturday. Rain arrives on Saturday night. It will linger into the first part of Sunday, but it won't be a washout. In fact, once the sun comes through, we're going to rise up to 60 degrees on Sunday. That'll be the warmest day of the next several. Next week, we turn a little cooler with a high of 50 on Monday. Chance of a shower in southern New Jersey on Tuesday. Curt and Rosanna, over to you.
All right, thank you very much. Ryan Christopher joins us with entertainment news.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
And the tease before the break said going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So was that a clue?
Maybe that was a clue.
So.
I think Sabrina Carpenter might need a little espresso because she's booked and busy with music and now with movies as well, potentially starring in Alice in Wonderland. Sabrina Carpenter now going down the rabbit hole as she is set to star and produce in a movie musical that's based on Alice in Wonderland as the movie for Universal Pictures. By the way, the same company that's been doing Wicked, Ariana Grande, Rosanna Scotto. I mean, it seems like they're pulling in big artists now to star in big films. Now, this movie is untitled as of right now, but we all know it's based on the Lewis Carroll famous 1865 children's book, so beloved in so many movies and series since then. But along with starring in the role, Miss Carpenter will also serve as a producer, and sources say that this is really a passion project for the pop star, and she is said to have approached the studio last year with specific ideas for this movie, and now that concept is coming to fruition. It'll be Carpenter's first major movie studio feature, and the last Alice in Wonderland film, that was Disney's Alice Through the Looking Glass, starring Johnny Depp back in 2016 as the Mad Hatter. So soon we'll see Sabrina Carpenter on the big screen. But now let's go to Broadway, shall we? Let's talk about the box office. Apparently it's booming headed into the holiday season. So Chess, the new musical, well, it's a revival, which is still in previews, was the third highest grossing show in in the industry. It also broke the 8-performance house record at the Imperial Theater, bringing in just over $2 million last week. Now, Chess starring Lea Michele is set to open on Sunday and getting rave reviews as well. Now to Hamilton, leading the way on Broadway, grossing nearly $4 million. Besides large audiences, Hamilton also has some of the highest ticket prices on Broadway, and for good reason. Meanwhile, Wicked, people are in the spirit as the movie's coming out very, very soon, now casting a spell on theatergoers here in the city. It was the second highest grossing show at $2.3 million, finishing just ahead of Chess, Lion King, Waiting for Godot, featuring Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, rounding out the top 5 shows on Broadway. But what's old is new again. Everybody's favorite toys coming back together for one last ride here in Toy Story 5. Here's a little preview.
Thank you. Hi there, I'm Lilypad. Let's play.
Those evil tablets, right? So many of the voice actors now returning, including Tom Hanks as Woody and Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear, to infinity and beyond, as the toys will go ahead. And now they got to face off with Lilypad, voiced by Greta Lee. She's like an evil little pad for children. You know, those tablet kids, right? Watching YouTube videos all day. And now it's like the toys are up against the high-tech frog-shaped smart tablet. Conan O'Brien also joining the cast as a new character called Smarty Pants. How nice is that? Toy Story 5 set to hit theaters on June 19th of next year, but 10 days from today, it marks the 30th anniversary of the first Toy Story movie being released in theaters in 1995. Isn't that hard to believe? 30 years of Toy Story already?
It's unbelievable.
I guess we're getting old. I don't know.
Yes, we are.
We are.
So we are?
I feel like I am. I was a kid when that movie came out.
Always go. It's better than the alternative.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
That's the truth.
We'll take it.
All right, we got to get ready for the 8 o'clock version of Good Day New York. Still ahead, Google issues a warning to you if you're using public Wi-Fi.
Plus, a red carpet staple now hitting the streets. We'll tell you how you can get your glam on at this 360-degree photo pop-up experience around the city.
Right now, Rosanna Scotto, Curt Menefee. Let's have a good day, New York.
I second that emotion. It doesn't look so bad out there. A little relief from the wind and cold. Not as bad as yesterday. Audrey has details for us.
Well, today the House returns to work with a spending bill ready for their vote. It can't come soon enough for millions of Americans waiting for paychecks and SNAP benefits.
Meanwhile, air travel could slowly start to return to normal if the government reopens this week. But if not, things could go quickly from bad to worse.
And Target is rolling out a new customer service initiative to help the shopping experience. But is everyone in favor of the new policy? We're going to find out from you.
And a true sign that the holiday season has officially arrived. We're taking you inside this year's holiday train show at the New York Botanical Garden. It opens this weekend, and that's always a sign Santa's coming to town.
All aboard.
All right, good day, New York. It's Wednesday, November 12th. I'm Rosanna Scotto.
I'm Curt Menefee. Thanks for being with us here in the 8 o'clock hour. We're joined by Audrey Puente, who's going to make people feel a lot better than we felt this time yesterday. That's when it was. The snowflakes were coming down.
It was.
Windy.
It was actually exciting, wasn't it? Just a little bit. Come on.
A little bit. First
a little bit, yeah.
The first snowfall is always the most exciting one, and then we're done. That's how New Yorkers are, right? It came down for quite a bit. It actually complemented the frigid air mass that was in place. Today, no snowflakes in the city here. It's also going to feel less frigid. We already can sense that when you head out the door this morning. It's still a little windy, not as blustery as yesterday, but we'll have wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, and we have a dry stretch of weather ahead. Our next chance of rain, unfortunately, will be this coming weekend. Right now, we're at 41 in the city. That was our high temperature yesterday. 42 right now in Islip, 40 in Bridgeport. Nice start in those places. 37 in Poughkeepsie. We're at 30 degrees in Monticello. All of these temperatures are milder than they were at this time yesterday. And our wind gusts, not that bad right now. They'll be gusting to 30 miles per hour, as I mentioned. So it will be a little breezy or windy at times. We had a couple of sprinkles come through earlier. They've now shifted off to the east. We could get grays with a couple of snowflakes around northern Sullivan, Ulster, and Dutchess counties. These are coming downwind of the Great Lakes, where they're seeing more significant snowfall up there. We're going to be dry here across the rest of the tri-state area, and we do have a cloud deck in place, but the sun will be breaking through from time to time. That will help warm us up to 51 degrees in Central Park today. That'll feel nice. We're at 52 tomorrow. It stays windy and breezy right through Friday. We cool it down for Saturday. Rain comes in Saturday night. It'll be here for Sunday morning, but the afternoon will be fine. The sun will break through, and that will warm us up to 60. That sounds nice. Let's see how nice it is for your commute this morning. Jeff Fromm is here with a traffic update.
Audrey, not so nice on 495. We've got a crash investigation right around Kennedy Boulevard impacting traffic heading for the Port Authority. Again, NJ Transit buses are being diverted towards Secaucus Junction, where tickets are still being cross-honored. They are advising you take the train out of Secaucus into New York Penn this morning. Again, the exclusive bus lane is still shut down on 495. There's a live look at the action here. It's all westbound lanes blocked right around Kennedy Boulevard. But again, they do use that westbound side of the highway for the bus lanes. Lots of eastbound rubbernecking, too. If you're heading for the inbound Lincoln, traffic jammed all the way out of Clifton on Route 3 and heavy delays on the eastern spur back into Secaucus. You've also got a crash heading for the Holland. It's on the northbound side of 1 and 9 up towards the Pulaski Skyway. Big jam into Jersey City off both approaches. And the George Washington Bridge still close to a 45-minute delay this morning. About a 25-minute trip across Staten Island. That's a jam heading out to the Verrazano Bridge for you. And Curt and Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, Jeff, well, after a month and a half, we could be just hours away from the end of the government shutdown.
The House is scheduled to vote later today on the spending bill. Jessica Formoso is here. Jessica, yesterday we had the governor of New Jersey. She said she's not going to vote.
Who's still a member of Congress, we should point
That's
out
right.
to
She's
people
still
who
a
don't
member
know.
of Congress. She's going to go back down today to vote, and she's not voting to end the government shutdown.
Well, that's the issue. We could see, that happened, and clearly that could put this bill in jeopardy. But, if House Republicans do unite, they don't need any Democrats to pass this spending bill. However, we know Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia has warned that her party must ensure health insurance premiums do not spike. Health care was one of the main reasons why this government shutdown happened in the first place. Earlier this morning, the House Rules Committee voted on party lines to advance the funding bill that was approved by the Senate on Monday. House members who were on recess were asked by House Speaker Mike Johnson to get back to Washington today to vote. That sticking point that led to the longest government shutdown in history. Healthcare. Democrats wanted to extend Obamacare tax credits for millions of Americans, fearing premiums will skyrocket once those credits expire in January. But Republicans opposed, saying they will hold a vote on the Affordable Care Act subsidies in December.
Democrats will continue to press the case, to say to our Republican colleagues, you have another opportunity to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits and make sure that tens of millions of Americans all across the country in communities that Republicans represent, along with us as Democrats.
We're opening up our country. Should have never been closed. Should have never been closed.
Reopening the government means federal workers will begin to get paid again. Food stamp benefits known as SNAP will be restored. And that's a big one because it impacts 42 million Americans who rely on this program. Yesterday, the Supreme Court extended an order blocking full SNAP payments, which means the Trump administration does not have to fully restore this program, withholding nearly $4 billion for food stamps. The Supreme Court initially ruled on the matter after a lower court ordered the Trump administration to fully fund the program. Since then, some families in certain states have received their benefits, others have not. Here in New York, Governor Hochul recently decided to use emergency funds to pay SNAP benefits to recipients. We actually spoke to a woman from the Bronx who receives those benefits.
I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I also have several issues with certain foods. So SNAP really helps me keep within that diet, that dietary that I need to keep my health, which is really important so that I don't, end up in hospital. And also it's important for me to be able to say I'm food secure.
Her and many millions of Americans. Now, if the government was to reopen today, SNAP benefits might not immediately see their benefits. As for the vote, once the House votes and if it passes, then it goes to President Trump. He will sign off. And Rosanna and Curt, as you heard him there, he is ready to open up the government. So it seems like he will give a signature.
All right. Well, we'll have an answer one way or another this afternoon.
Yeah. Hoping for the best.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you, Jessica.
All right. Meanwhile, on the Upper West Side, the New York Common Pantry truck helping some of the city's nearly 2 million SNAP benefit recipients.
The food pantry on wheels is making regular visits to NYCHA's Douglas houses on the Upper West Side. The center is open every day because people stop by desperate for help.
We got people actually not paying rent because they need to pay food. What kind of stuff is that? This is New York City. We built this country.
Everybody's in need. It's been a lot harder now that everybody has to worry about where their income is coming from, where their money is supposed to go.
Well, they say to make sure the food goes to the right people, people must show an ID when you pick up the aid.
The AKC Museum of the Dog hosting a food drive to help dog owners who are impacted by the government shutdown. They are asking the community to donate unopened cans and bags of dog food. The museum says those in need can come in during business hours and take what they need, no questions asked. The museum is open Wednesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. It's located on Park Avenue between 40th and 41st Streets. And the shutdown keeps causing more chaos at the airports across the country, including right here in our area.
And if the shutdown does continue, the situation is expected to get worse with more flight reductions planned for tomorrow. Briella Tomasetti live at LaGuardia, where already we've seen some actions delayed this morning, right, Briella?
Yeah, actually, I've counted in the last hour or so about 5 cancellations on the board behind me here in Terminal B. But according to FlightAware, yesterday things looked a little bit better. There were half the amount of cancellations at airlines in the U.S. than there were on Monday. Here specifically at LaGuardia, we saw 140, which was the largest amount of cancellations at any airport in the nation. So still a problematic situation. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy didn't give a timeline for when exactly the FAA will roll back the current restrictions, but he did say that things should start to improve within 24 hours of the government reopening.
We have had significant staffing shortages with our air traffic controllers. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, very rough travel days, significant cancellations and significant delays. However, today has been a much better day. A lot more air traffic controllers are coming in. Anywhere from 24 to 48 hours after the government opens, they're going to get a photo ID and 70% of their pay.
Some air travelers who ran into trouble at Newark, JFK, and LaGuardia, well, they opted to switch their flights to Westchester County Airport. In other cases, their airlines did it for them. The regional airport has seen an uptick in passengers because it's not directly impacted by the FAA's mandate affecting large commercial hubs. It was a change of scenery, to say the least, with most arrival boards showing flights running ahead of schedule due to less air traffic in and out of that airport. Many say it's worth paying a few extra dollars in exchange for reassurance that they'll make it to their destinations on time. And for passengers we spoke with this morning, things seem to be looking up, but that doesn't mean they aren't skeptical about flying.
My flight was canceled last night, and so now we're on an earlier flight today. So hopefully I continue to get my upgrade to first class. Hopefully they won't bump me down.
Nervous, yes.
Is this the first time you've been on a plane since the shutdown?
Yes.
So you're not a regular?
Not a regular traveler.
What's the situation right now with your flight?
Well, I think it's scheduled. I haven't got notification. It's supposed to go off at 9:09.
That's a good sign so far, right?
Keep my fingers crossed, but I'm going to go look at the board.
Are you nervous traveling?
A little bit, yeah. But
what are you trying to tell yourself while you're at the airport if, something happens? You nervous?
a little bit, but I can always catch another flight.
Yeah, see, people are staying optimistic even amid all of the craziness happening right now. If the government, though, doesn't reopen, passengers could see more and more major disruptions into this weekend, with the FAA raising its goal of cutting flights by 8% tomorrow to 10% on Friday. Duffy warned in a worst-case scenario, airlines could even halt or ground basically their entire fleets, and that would certainly, Curt and Rosanna, be an unprecedented move. We're live at LaGuardia. Back to you in the studio.
All right, hopefully we don't find out. Thank you very much. When we come back, we'll have details on legislation that would overhaul how cryptocurrencies are currently regulated.
All right, let's talk about our 9 o'clock hour of Good Day New York. Actress Naturi Naughton will be here. Naughton Lewis, she's here. She's starring in Eric Jerome Dickey's Friends and Lovers movie, a centerpiece of Lifetime's Love of a Lifetime November movie slate. We always love talking to Naturi. That'll be at 9 o'clock.
Fox 5.
Parts of the East Coast got its first real taste of winter, along with some snow, as an Arctic blast swept through the region. While we saw some flurries here yesterday, some areas in Rochester really got more than a...
Well, they've got the Christmas tree up
Oh, how pretty. They got a coating. And if you were trying to avoid the freezing temperatures, Florida was not the place to be. The Sunshine State broke record low temperatures in Jacksonville. It only reached 28 degrees.
That was the high in Jacksonville? Wow, below freezing.
Okay, that made me feel a little bit better, Audrey. A little bit.
They did have the iguanas falling out of the trees.
Yeah, that happens down there. That's right.
Yes. And in fact, some of the Great Lakes areas did receive up to a foot of snow in places around Illinois and Indiana. It was just a trace for us here in Central Park, but we did get the attention with the winds for sure. It was gusting up to 61 miles per hour out on Long Island yesterday at Eaton's Neck. White Plains came in with a 53 mile per hour wind gust. Atlantic Beach at 51. Jersey City 50. Suffern and Rockland County 45. Central Park recorded a wind gust of 40 miles per hour. So we are still with below normal temperatures from the northeast all the way down towards Florida here, but slowly we're going to see the numbers modify, and it will feel a little bit less biting today, which is some good news. You don't need to layer up as much. We had some sprinkles earlier. They have now rotated out. We have a couple of flurries that could fly across northern portions of Sullivan, Ulster, and Dutchess counties. They're coming in as part of the lake effect snow machine that's continuing to plague western and central part of the state here. We have a mix of sun and clouds expected across the tri-state area, so generally dry and quiet, and also slightly warmer than it was yesterday. Again, here come a few more of those lake effect snow showers to the north here. Again, we're not going to see much wet weather across the immediate tri-state area. Cold fronts are vicinity, so that's going to keep us with the cloud cover. But tomorrow we'll wake up more in the way of sunshine. It will still be quite windy too, not as blustery as yesterday, but we could have wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour right through the next couple of days. On Thursday, a couple of more isolated showers could rotate across parts of the Hudson Valley. We could get a sprinkle as far south as maybe Rockland or Westchester County, but that's about it. No major storm systems in sight for us here until the weekend. That's when we'll see a chance of more measurable rainfall across the tri-state area. So for today, we're going to fare pretty well with a mix of sun and clouds. The temperature is going up to 51 in Central Park. That'll feel nice. Still breezy tomorrow, chance of a sprinkle north. Still breezy on Friday. It'll be a dry day, and we stay dry right until Saturday night. That's our next chance of showers. They'll be here for Sunday morning, but once the sun comes out, we are warming it up to 60 degrees. That'll feel nice. Let's head over to Jeff Fromm now and check the traffic.
Audrey, thank you much. A couple issues in Queens on the LIE right now. We've got a westbound crash right around Casino Boulevard. Looks like that's being cleared away right now. At last check, though, the left lane was shut. And somebody broke down. It's a stalled out dump truck on the eastbound side right at the Clearview. They're getting that towed away right now. But again, lots of heavy eastbound traffic if you're heading out towards the Clearview and Cross Island Parkway this morning. Also in Connecticut, flipped over car on 95 northbound, 2-lane shutdown right around exit 8 up towards 9. And you've got a Jersey jam on Route 3 westbound heading out to Clifton. They've got the off-ramp blocked right now for Valley Road for a crash. That jams you right back past the Garden State Parkway. If you're heading eastbound 3 this morning, big jam heading out for the Lincoln Tunnel, all tied into that crash investigation on 495. The westbound lanes are still shut down at Kennedy Boulevard. That impacts the bus lanes heading for the Helix at the Lincoln. Again, they are detouring buses headed for Port Authority to Secaucus this morning. They'll cross on our tickets, and they are advising that you take the train from Secaucus into New York Penn. Curt and Rosanna.
Ooh, passengers on a speeding light rail train in San Francisco got quite the jolt when the train sped through a tunnel and then came to an abrupt and unexpected stop. The operator claimed the brake wouldn't stop the train as it was traveling at 50 miles an hour on September 24th. Those trains usually travel at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Officials said video shows the driver was sleeping at the time. This week, the agency confirmed the incident was caused by operator fatigue. The driver was placed on non-driving status.
That would be scary.
Yeah. Give her a break. Okay, meanwhile, legislation that would overhaul how cryptocurrencies are regulated is starting to move forward.
The Senate Agriculture Committee released a bipartisan draft for its portion of the bill yesterday. It focuses on giving the Commodity Futures Trading Commission the power to regulate digital asset commodities like Bitcoin, partially shifting oversight away from the Securities and Exchange Commission. The legislation has garnered support from the crypto industry as well as President Trump. Republican Pennsylvania Senator Dave McCormick discussed the bill.
This is, crypto is an incredibly important opportunity for America's future. If we don't lead on crypto, other countries will fill that void. It's a huge job creator.
In a statement to Fox Business, Democratic New Jersey Senator Cory Booker called the draft a, quote, first step, and that there is still significant work to do before it advances onto the Senate floor. And Google warns smartphone users about the risks involved with using public Wi-Fi.
All right, we're hearing this a lot. So the company says that cyber criminals use public Wi-Fi as a Trojan horse so they can dip into your bank accounts and access your information. To avoid this, tech experts recommend disabling auto connection to public or unknown networks and avoid downloading or providing any data when trying to access a network. Okay, something to always worry about. Coming up right here on Good Day New York, though. The next time you go shopping at Target, you may notice that the employees are giving you a little bit more attention.
We'll have details on the company's new 10-4 policy to make sure employees are friendly to you when you shop there.
Fox Local.
God, I hope someone walks up soon so I can say welcome to Target. I just want to say welcome to Target. I just want to say welcome to Target to somebody. Welcome to Target!
Okay, it could go a little off the rails. That's from Saturday Night Live, but it may have predicted Target's new policy for its employees.
Who knew, right? It's going to require them to be more friendly to customers and do things like wave, make eye contact, smile, say welcome to Target. Good Day's Crystal Young on the Upper East Side to find out what New Yorkers are thinking about this new policy. Crystal.
Good morning, good morning. Well, Target wants to be friendlier to you, but the question is, are you buying it? There is a Target right behind me, so we wanted to know people's thoughts. So the policy is called the 10-4 policy. So think of, you know, the cop turned 10-4, we see you. So they want customers ahead of the holiday season, or we're pretty much in the holiday season, to feel appreciated. So they have the employees doing something different. If you go into a Target and that employee is within 10 feet of you, then they are supposed to wave to you or smile. If you get within 4 feet of an employee, then warm interaction. They want to chat you up a little. So we needed to know, is that necessary? Do people like that? New Yorkers, they can be a little like, okay, wait a minute, you know, feeling like that might not be necessary. So we just had to take it to the streets and go, good idea, bad idea, what do you think? Take a listen to the answers.
I think that would be nice.
Yeah, why?
It's welcoming. You want to walk in and feel appreciated and welcome, especially if you're spending your money.
Okay, all right.
And that takes minimal effort to at least acknowledge the person.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it.
Okay. Why?
Because, especially in New York, I feel like people don't do that.
Okay.
So, it would be nice.
I typically like to be left alone when I'm shopping, personally.
Okay, all right. So you just want to do your thing, be in your own head, get in, get out.
Yeah, exactly. Get in, get out, get what I need, and I'm out of there.
Okay. Well, how about a smile, though?
That's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, smiles are nice.
Okay. So it's very interesting because a lot of people are saying the 10 part of the 10-4, we can get with that. You know, a little wave from far away, a little smile, a little wink, that they can handle. It's the 4 part where, you know, now I really want to chat you up and talk to you, that they, you know, the jury's out on that. But 10-4, we want to know whether or not you think it's a great idea, and, you know, will it be implemented at a Target near you? I'm going to go in later. I'll have to report back, but for now, I'll toss it back to you, Curt and Rosanna. You know, I'm a get in, get out kind of girl.
I'm kind of with you. I'm noticing the guy behind you, though. He has been just hard at work. He's not smiling at you or anything. He's like, I got stuff to unload. You news people can just keep on talking. I love it about New York. Thank you.
100%.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. We wanted to know if he wanted to talk, and he was like, no, I'm good. I got a job to do.
I could tell.
said, let's talk about Target. He's like, I'm targeting my bottom line.
There you go.
Talking. Okay.
I could tell. Thank you, Crystal, on the streets.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, so-called glam bots are popping up in New York City on the streets.
Well, you might have also seen these 360-degree rotating cameras on the red carpet or at parties. Why this photo op is generating so much hype for you right now.
$1,000.
Okay, a little Rihanna puts everybody in a good mood, huh?
Well, I think it's interesting. 15 years ago, this song came out, What's My Name?
Right.
Then, a couple years after that, became the How Do You Pronounce Her Name? It's actually Rihanna, but people called her Rihanna, so she just went with it.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I found that out when she did the Super Bowl for us on Fox.
Yeah.
And, talking to her and her people, they're like, no, it's actually Rihanna, but she just let people go with it.
Huh.
Yeah.
But I think somebody else did Rihanna. I think it was Fleetwood Mac, so she had to go to.
Well, that's Rihanna. You gotta make sure you enunciate
there you
when
go.
you do it.
All right, it's just about 8:30 in the morning. We sometimes have stuff that,
That makes no sense to anybody but us. But that's what we're here for.
It's maybe, cocktail conversation at some point. You never know.
It comes in handy
All
someday,
right.
or maybe you can just use it to, I don't know, put you in the right mood for Friday. Because Friday.
Speaking at Friday.
Yes, you know what happens.
Do you know what happens at Friday at 8:30?
I've heard.
Well, about this time on Friday, we have a tradition around here.
And it is?
It is we play the song Native New Yorker, we dance, we sing, we sway, we move.
We do whatever we want to do, which includes not moving sometimes. But we want you to do what you want to do. Sing, sway, dance, party, groove, do it with a friend, do it by yourself. Just record yourself when you do it. And use that QR code to send it to us right here at Good Day New York. And maybe, just maybe, you can be chosen as our Native New Yorker of the day, because every Friday we choose someone, take that video and put them on TV.
I love it. I love it. And you don't have to be a native New Yorker. Just be, somebody who loves this city like we do.
Exactly.
Right?
Native New Yorkers in here.
There you go.
That's where
but it helps, like, if, like Audrey, she's a native New Yorker. I'm not just saying she's got a leg up on it, but she's got rhythm, too.
Well, what's with the tambourine? What's the latest?
Oh, yeah.
What's the update? Is it going to happen?
It might be in the building. It might be in the building. Look at Rosanna, she's so excited.
There was a time whenever I went out with Audrey, she had the tambourine.
I'd whip it out.
Are you that person, like in the bar after a couple drinks?
Sometimes I didn't need drinks.
Okay.
You always need drinks. Kurt, we'll find out on Friday for sure. But if you want to have a cocktail early in the morning, I will, maybe we'll imbibe, but we'll see. All right, folks, let's talk about this morning, though. We are going to be pretty happy with the weather as you step out the door. It's not going to be as frigid as we've seen over the since yesterday, actually. The winds have also come down a bit. They'll be gusting to 30 miles per hour today. And we have a dry stretch of weather for the most part for the next several days. Unfortunately, though, as we go into the weekend, that will be our next chance of measurable rainfall. 41 right now in Central Park. That was actually our high temperature yesterday. So we're starting off pretty nice this morning. 42 in Islip, 37 in Poughkeepsie. It's 29 degrees up towards Monticello. Now, all of these temperatures are milder than they were at this time yesterday, and our winds, not that bad. They're relatively light. What's important to note is that they're coming from the southwest. That's a milder wind direction for us here in the tri-state, and that's why our temperatures will be higher than we experienced yesterday on our Tuesday. So look at the satellite and radar. It shows that we did have a couple of sprinkles earlier that have passed across Long Island. Now they've moved out to the east. We could get grazed across Sullivan, Ulster, and Dutchess counties. At least the northern fringe could see a few flakes. That's courtesy of the lake effect snows that are still continuing in upstate New York. For the most part, we're going to be dry here in the tri-state area. We have high pressure nosing its way in from the south. Another cold front will come in, could give a sprinkle off to the north as we go into tomorrow, but no major storm systems in sight here for the week. Temperatures will still be a little bit below normal for this time of year, but check out Sunday. After some morning rain, the sun's going to break out and warm us up to 60 degrees. Let's bring in Jeff now and see how it looks for the commute this morning.
Well, Audrey, we're keeping our eyes on the big story this morning, which is the crash investigation on 495. It's been out there for over 2.5 hours right now. The westbound lane still completely shut down as you get out past Kennedy Boulevard out towards Route 3 and the Turnpike. So again, that's going to impact traffic out of the Lincoln Tunnel on the westbound side of 495. They will detour you off in Weehawken. The eastbound delays are heavy off Route 3 and the Turnpike, close to an hour wait if you're heading for the inbound Lincoln this morning, so budget extra time. And if you're heading up the exclusive bus lanes, they're still blocked. So again, NJ Transit buses being detoured into Secaucus. And again, they will cross onto those tickets where you can take the train into New York Penn. Also for the inbound Holland, you've still got a crash heading up towards the Pulaski Skyway. That's 1 and 9 in Newark. And from that approach, a big jam into Jersey City, at least 30 minutes off the Turnpike, and a 45-minute inbound delay for the George Washington Bridge upper deck. Curt and Rosanna.
Okay, thanks so much, Jeff. Well, the mayoral transition is in full swing. Mayor-elect Zoran Mondani preparing to take office on January 1st.
Now, current Mayor Eric Adams' staff is reportedly cooperating with the transition, but not without adding a little drama to it before the transition is completed on January 1st. Robert Moses joins us right now with the very latest.
Yeah, Curt and Rosanna, drama, perhaps a bit of trolling as well of the incoming mayor, Mayor-elect Zoran Mondani. Will be in Harlem later on this morning for the grand opening of the Urban League Empowerment Center. He takes office New Year's Day, so that's 50 days from today, exactly 7 weeks from tomorrow. An intriguing storyline for that day is beginning to take shape. Outgoing Mayor Eric Adams says he plans to travel to Israel Friday. He says he intends to invite Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the city on, yes, you guessed it, New Year's Day, Inauguration Day. City Councilwoman Ina Vernikov, a Republican who supported former Governor Andrew Cuomo, also invited Netanyahu to visit the city that day. Why is this all significant? Well, on the campaign trail, Mamdani promised to direct the NYPD, assuming he won the election, to arrest Netanyahu if he sets foot in the city because of the arrest warrant the International Criminal Court issued last year for the prime minister's alleged war crimes in Gaza. Now, the U.S. doesn't recognize the ICC, but Mamdani has said that he believes in upholding international law, hence his stance here. Will he follow through? Hard to say, but it sounds like Mayor Adams is certainly daring him to.
I want him to invite him to join me on January 1st here in New York so we could see this rich Jewish community we have here.
I think the mayor is free to spend his final days and weeks and months as he so pleases.
So that's the drama. While the mayor has slammed Mamdani over any number of issues, he says he does plan to meet with him to help with the transition.
I spoke with him the other day. We're going to set up a time to sit down so I could debrief him on, what it's about running the city. I want him to succeed. He's going to be the new pilot, and I don't want him to crash. I want him to land the plane and guide us through the turbulent times.
A couple other transition notes. Mamdani says he would be willing to speak with President Donald Trump if there's a conversation to be had that would benefit New Yorkers. No meeting, either in person or by phone, has been set up just yet. Also, Mamdani remains confident in his decision to retain Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, although we caution she still has not confirmed for certain if she is staying in her position. And finally, according to the Post, Mamdani is considering hiring Steve Banks as the city's top lawyer. That name is probably familiar to you because Banks served under Mayor Bill de Blasio as commissioner of the Department of Social Services. But it's really this Inauguration Day potential drama that's really intriguing.
And it's only going to build between now and then.
I think we'll talk about it a little more between now and then.
I have a feeling. All right. Thank you, Robert. All right, let's talk about the New York Botanical Garden. They are getting ready for its 34th annual holiday train show.
Our cameras were invited to the Bronx for a little sneak peek. The train show has become a holiday tradition here in the city. This year it features 30 model trains traveling through more than a mile of track. The miniature and magical landscape includes about 200 replicas of New York landmarks.
We're able to now see folks coming with their own kids who visited when they were children. We have people coming in groups of adults. We have people coming on date nights to our evening programs. And it's just really a fun holiday experience for people of any age.
The holiday train show officially opens on Saturday, runs through January 11th. All right, 360-degree photo booths have gone from red carpets to parties and now on the streets of New York City.
Yeah, you walk around, you can see them just about everywhere. The latest tourist trend, bringing in big bucks, though, for a local teen operating the device. Good Day's Kendall Green takes a closer look at the hype behind this photo op.
360 photo booths all the time across the city, but what's unique about this one, here in the heart of Manhattan, it's ran by two teenagers. Most teens and tourists see these 360 photo booths as an easy way to create a lasting memory during their visit to the city. But one teen saw the revolving cams laced with lights and music and thought at just 14 he'd buy one.
I've been doing this myself 3 years.
Ali Palado's 17 now, and he's been busy at work, curating excitement around his own trio of 360 photo booths. We found them near Radio City, where he lined 3 of his booths up, full of buzz and excitement. It's just one spot among a few he's seen it pay off big time.
Maximum I did last year, in this season, winter season, I did 3,500 in the 10 hour.
Wow. You're 17.
17.
Though they're banned in Times Square, one of the top tourist destinations in the city, tourists share they're glad to get their shot in the lights near Radio City.
We are dreaming about a long time ago for the New York City. It's a big dream to come true. It was a really great experience. Yeah, I don't regret it at all.
It goes to show for him, New York is a special place for a young kid with a bright idea.
There's a lot of tourists, like a lot of people, And right now for Christmas, they come and visit the Christmas tree, you know, and Radio City in my background. They coming to visit here.
In front of Radio City, Kendall Green. Good Day, New York.
What a great idea.
I have passed that spot right there on 6th Avenue a million times.
Have
that
you done
song's
it?
always blaring, and the 360 is going. No, we'll let the tourists have that one.
Okay.
Yeah, but it looks like fun, and really entrepreneurial. He's been doing it since he was 14.
Smart.
Smart kid. All right, when we come back, we're going to dive deeply into a serious subject. Incarcerated men, well, they're trying to defy the odds to expose a cover-up behind bars.
It's a fascinating story. It's the subject of the HBO documentary, The Alabama Solution. It explores Alabama's prison system through the eyes of prisoners. We're going to be joined by one of the film's directors, Andrew Jarecki. Perhaps you remember that name. He did The Jinx about the Robert Durst and the murders. Anyway, he's a fascinating guy. We're going to talk to him on Good Day Returns.
New York City is delivering for you every day, everywhere. Major crime is down citywide. A record number of new homes have been created. And a brand new universal after-school program is available for our kids. With safer streets and thriving small businesses, NYC is delivering for families, making this the best place to raise yours. Find out more at deliveringforyou.nyc.
Tri-state area.
Our next guest takes us into one of the deadliest and most secretive prison systems in America.
We have record numbers of people leaving out of here in body bags. They don't want the public to see what's really going on the inside.
How can a journalist go into a war zone but can't go into a prison in the United States of America?
It's an HBO documentary which explores Alabama's prison system through the eyes of those who are incarcerated using contraband cell phones. Joining us now, one of the film's directors, Andrew Jarecki. Thank you for joining us. A lot to dive into here, but I want to begin with how this project came about.
I've been interested in the justice system generally, and I know, people sort of can agree that we don't do incarceration very well. But I didn't really have any access to the Alabama system because it's a very secretive system, and for good reason. They don't want people to know what's going on in there because it's much more disturbing than most people would think. And my daughter, who is 14, was reading a book by Anthony Ray Hinton, a guy who had been wrongfully convicted. And she said, I know you're interested in this. This is kind of an amazing book. Let's read it. And so we read it together, and then we decided to take a road trip to Montgomery, where we had never been before. And we met a chaplain in Montgomery who goes into the prisons, and we decided to sort of volunteer and see what we could see. And that's when we started to learn everything we weren't being allowed to see.
So the documentary is running now on HBO. What do you want people to take out of it? Because it highlights Alabama, obviously, but it's not just Alabama. It's prison systems all around the country.
Sure. I mean, we've read, here in New York about people being killed by prison guards, accidentally caught on video, but it happens a lot more than we think. And I think when you have these systems that are totally secretive, it's very dangerous for society because you're able to disappear people, really. And, under the heading of sort of safety and security, we say, well, journalists shouldn't be able to go into a prison. But then what that means is that we don't get to see what's happening in these institutions that are costing us $80 billion a year. We see it in New York, we see it in California, we see it across the South, but we see it in almost every state. There are good states. There's a state, the state of Maine actually has a dramatically better prison system. And trying to let people know what's really happening inside and what we can do about it is a critical function of a film like this.
So, Andrew, how did you infiltrate inside this prison system? People were given cell phones?
We went into volunteer because it's sort of an economy of deprivation. There's really nothing there. So if you're not bringing in a hygiene package, they may not have soap. If you're not bringing in food, they're eating something that's, literally says not fit for human consumption. So we went in to film a revival meeting, sort of a religious meeting. And while we were there filming what was quite beautiful out in the yard, men started to say to us, listen, they're not letting you in the real prison. They're letting you in this little sliver of the prison. Look at that building. That's where people are being held in solitary confinement, sometimes for years at a time. That's a building where somebody just got murdered by a guard. And we started to recognize how serious the issue was. Then we left and we started getting calls from people on these contraband cell phones, which we didn't understand even existed. But there's a big economy in it because the guards, who don't get paid very well, are bringing in cell phones, bringing in drugs and selling them. And the only positive is that it's our window, sort of a tear in the fabric of secrecy. So we were able to get in and meet these men who are incredibly thoughtful and smart and have been running really a nonviolent protest movement that's always met with violence. And both of the main men in our film, Melvin Ray and Kinetic Justice, have both had attempts of murdering them by prison authorities. It's a system that we need to be able to see into, and they gave us a window very bravely because they took a big risk by doing it.
So we have another clip from the Alabama solution. Let's take a look.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Police in here.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. They're gone now.
Would a regular phone call be better?
No, because it does not allow us to just be ourselves. When we present our stories, we want to present our whole self, not just our voice.
So, Andrew, I mean, what are these people in jail for? And what are you hoping? I mean, obviously the injustice of the system, but are these like hardened criminals? Are these murderers? Like, who are they?
There's a mix. I think somebody like Kinetic Justice, who we see in the film, is in prison for a stand your ground crime. Essentially, he was, it's undisputed that somebody was trying to run him over with a car. He, like a lot of people there, had a gun. He shot the person in the car. He's been in jail now for decades based on that. And there are people in for a range of things. One of the people who doesn't survive in the film is somebody who is incarcerated for entering an unoccupied building, didn't steal anything. And so that's an example of something where somebody shouldn't get 15 years in the most maximum security facility in Alabama, but the system's kind of in free fall.
So is there any, like, since you've put this documentary out on HBO, have you heard from the Alabama prison system? Are they making any changes? Are they coming after you? What's going on?
What they said so far is we are aware of the documentary, but we can't comment on the authenticity of the material in it. nobody asked them whether it was authentic or not. It's authentic. It's clear. There are people all over the footage that are wearing, Alabama Department of Corrections gear, and you can see what's going on. I think they don't really know what to do with it because a lot of people in the system don't even visit the prisons. The Attorney General in the film, who I interviewed, speaks very, broadly about how we've got a crime problem, we don't have an incarceration problem. But the reality is there's so much crime happening in their facilities, but they don't see it that way. And part of the way they avoid the responsibility is they don't really go visit the prisons. So it's a little diffusion of responsibility. Well, I know maybe it's not great there, but it's not supposed to be a Hilton hotel. Meantime, we're seeing the highest rate of suicide, the highest rate of murder, the highest rate of sexual assault, the highest rate of drug overdoses happening in a system that is run by the largest law enforcement agency in the state. And we're seeing that in many states, unfortunately, is just this sort of total. I would say that the film is not, for me, just depressing, right? It's a story about men inside who are operating in a nonviolent way to use the ability to stop working or to make the impression on the administration that they would like the system to be better.
And they're obviously taking a risk by recording and sharing it with you. It's contraband. They could be, charged even more for doing that. But also, some of these people are going to get out at some point.
95% of the people in our prison system are going to get out.
Exactly.
So the question is really, are we making ourselves safer by bringing them into facilities that, rather than training them, giving them job skills, giving them reasonable health, you're bringing them out into the society when, and expecting them to rejoin society with some kind of job and being, able to be a taxpayer, and they're just not even close to that when you treat them this way. So nobody's saying that, people who are in prison should be treated like kings. We're not talking about that. Even conservative audiences that we've shown the film to will say, look, I say that I'm tough on crime. That's not being tough on crime. That's a whole other layer. That's an unconstitutional scenario where people are just being damaged and then being let back out into society, and we hope for the best, and it's not working.
All right, it's on HBO right now. You can stream it. Andrew Jarecki, director of the Alabama Solution, thanks for sharing it with us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's check in with Audrey.
Well, it looks like we have dry weather right now across the region after some early morning sprinkles. Generally, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds as we move along through the afternoon here. A cold front's coming in from the west that could squeeze out an isolated flurry well off to the north here in the Hudson Valley, maybe Sullivan, Ulster, and Dutchess counties. That's about it. So it'll be windy today once again, not as blustery as yesterday, but you'll get that attention. 51 degrees will be the high temperature in the park. We stay breezy and in the 50s for the next couple of days. Our next chance of rain comes in on Saturday night, lingering into early Sunday morning. Stay tuned. More Good Day New York will be back right after this commercial break.
All right, every time I see a trailer for this thing, it looks better and better.
Yeah, we're talking about Marty Supreme. It's a movie about ping pong.
Okay.
Do we have your attention now, Rosanna? Sort of, kind of. All right, well, you guys have played pickleball against each other and with each other.
Yes.
Maybe we should do a ping pong battle.
That could be fun.
Now we're talking, baby. All right.
Exactly.
Well, this new movie, it stars Timothy Chalamet as Marty Supreme. We're getting our first look at the first trailer right here.
Marty, I can't support your mother. You're not gonna have to, because I'm gonna step up. Step up. I'm gonna step up in a way you can't even imagine.
Marty, I'm gonna make you an offer. I gotta do it completely on my own.
Every man for himself where I come from. That's just how I grew up.
Man, this looks intense right here. The sports dramedy stars the one and only native New Yorker Timothy Chalamet as a table tennis prodigy Marty Mauser. And the film is set in the 1950s. As you can see, it follows Marty as he follows his dreams to become a table tennis champion. I feel like that's everybody's dream. I know it's mine. But it's a fictionalized account of Marty Reisman in real life, who won 5 table tennis championships and medals along with Chalamet. The cast includes Gwyneth Paltrow and Fran Drescher. How about that? Marty Supreme. It hits theaters this Christmas. Looks like a great flick that you can check out this holiday season. And speaking of great movies, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson announcing that production is officially underway for the 3rd installment of the new Jumanji trilogy. Here it is.
Y'all call out Jumanji!
All right, let's give him a round of applause here in studio, too. Why not? The Rock, who stars as Dr. Smolder Bravestone, sharing this celebratory moment with the cast at their table read in Los Angeles. Now, Jack Black and Kevin Hart are set to return alongside Johnson as the players in the world of Jumanji. Now, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, that was the first one out in 2017, and then Jumanji Next Level, that came out in 2019. Those have combined to gross $1.76 billion at the box office. And The Rock also wearing a little dice necklace here in a teaser for this film, saying that it's going to pay homage to the late, great Robin Williams. Jumanji 3 is scheduled to hit theaters December 11th of next year, so something to look forward to. And also this morning, we're giving you another preview of yet another trailer, though this one, a holiday rom-com titled Merv.
Do you always go on vacation with your ex?
We're kind of doing this cheer-up trip.
I just want to be someone.
You still have feelings for him?
We're just two people who share a dog.
You share a dog. It's a red flag.
You look sad. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you can barely see.
I don't need to see it, honey. I can feel it.
All right, I mean, come on now, the dog's part of the family, but Merv is a dog who's a little depressed over the breakup of his owners, Zoe Deschanel's character Anna and her ex-boyfriend played by Charlie Cox. The couple go on a trip with Merv to try to cheer him up a little bit, and of course things get a little complicated, to say the least, as it seems she has a new love interest, but Merv starts streaming on Prime on December 10th. A bit of a love triangle with the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
We know who wins that one.
Yeah,
Let's just say it that way.
yes we do. Yes we do, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan.
All right, coming up at 9 o'clock on Good Day New York. Singer, actress, Notori Naughton Lewis here, talking about her new Lifetime film.
Plus, we're talking about how to have a glowing, clear complexion for the holidays. And we've got the cast of Unexpected Christmas joining us. All coming up in just a few minutes right here on Good Day New York.
are here. From Fox 5 New York, this is Good Day New York.
All righty, Cole, not a lot of sun right now. Audrey is tracking your temperatures for you.
Well, today could be the day this historic government shutdown comes to an end. We're on top of a major vote in the House, which happens later on this afternoon.
Lingering issues at the airport persist right now. Thousands more delays, cancellations across the area and the country. What you need to know before you decide to go travel.
Plus, a friendly face at the store or an annoyance. We're going to ask New Yorkers about a major retailer's new policy for greeting you when you come in.
And singer-actress Notori Naughton-Lewis here talking about her new Lifetime movie, Friends and Lovers. Friends and lovers.
You're going to cover it all, right? Friends and lovers.
All right, we're going to talk about getting that glow, too, this morning on Good Day New York. I'm Rosanna Scotto.
I'm Curt Menefee. Thanks for being with us this morning. Audrey Puente is with us as well. And Audrey, as people step outside today, it feels like November, but not brutal like yesterday. It felt like winter.
Yesterday, right? We fast forwarded into winter yesterday, Curt, for sure. Even though it's still officially fall, it was pretty frigid across the tri-state area yesterday. Temperatures right now are mostly in the 30s. We're at 41 degrees in Central Park, 43 in Islip. It's 41 in East Hampton. Our 24-hour temperature change. Thank you. We're going to shift positions now. Okay, 24-hour temperature change is 5 degrees warmer than we were at this time yesterday. We're going to shuffle the scene a little bit here. Wind speeds, they are nice and light, but what's important to note is they're coming out of the southwest, which is a milder wind direction for us here in the tri-state area. So that's why our numbers are going to be slightly better than they were yesterday. We had a couple of sprinkles earlier. We could see a few flakes flying across northern portions of Sullivan, Ulster, and Dutchess counties, all associated with the lake effect snow machine that's continuing to plague western and central New York. We're not going to see snow here across the immediate tri-state area like yesterday. We're generally going to have clouds overhead. The sun will break through from time to time, and overall it's a quiet weather pattern as we move along through our Wednesday. 51 will be the high temperature we're forecasting in Central Park today. That'll be nice, 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, and with less wind it will feel even better too. 49 in White Plains, 46 in Poughkeepsie. We're expecting 50s across Long Island. 41 will be tonight's low in the park. That was the high yesterday, so we actually are doing pretty good now. 38 in White Plains, 37 in Poughkeepsie, and we're going to stay below normal for the next several days, but again with less wind and slightly warmer temperatures, it won't feel quite as brutal as it did yesterday. Our next chance of rain doesn't really return until Saturday night, and that rain will be on and off right through Sunday morning, and then the sun breaks out on Sunday afternoon, warming us up to 60 degrees. That sounds nice. Let's bring in Jeff Rom now and check the traffic.
All right, Audrey, a little bit slow through Queens. Westbound LIE, somebody broke down right after the Grand Central Parkway, so a lot of heavy westbound traffic there. You can see police activity there in that westbound lane. Also in Jersey, big jam on 287. It's a flipped over car southbound in Wanacue. We are hearing this involves a Wanacue police car. 2 lanes are shut down between exit 53 and 55. And a crash being cleared away on Route 18 in East Brunswick. Lots of heavy northbound traffic if you're heading up towards the Turnpike this morning. They have finally cleared that wreck approaching the Pulaski Skyway. Still, though, if you're heading for the Holland, about a 30-minute delay off the 1 and 9 approach, 25 minutes off the Turnpike. And good news in Weehawken, 495 westbound finally reopened. They had it shut for 3 hours with a crash investigation, but you can see now traffic flowing both directions there on 495. Still about a 30-minute inbound delay at the Lincoln, and the exclusive bus lanes have been reopened. We do have service delays now in and out of New York Penn on NJ Transit trains. That is 15 minutes in both directions. Curt and Rosanna.
Okay, Jeff, thank you so much. Today, the House is set to vote on the spending package deal that could end the historic 43-day government shutdown.
Yeah, Jessica Formoso joins us right now with the countdown to the end of the shutdown, hopefully.
That's right, Curt and Rosanna. All eyes on the House as the vote is expected later today. If House Republicans stay united, they don't need any Democrats to pass the spending bill. However, we know Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia has warned that her party must ensure health insurance premiums do not spike. Healthcare is the main reason why this government shutdown happened in the first place. Now, earlier this morning, the House Rules Committee voted on party lines to advance the funding bill that was approved by the Senate on Monday. House members who were on recess were asked by the House Speaker Mike Johnson to get back to Washington today for that vote. The sticking point that led to the longest government shutdown in history, health care. Democrats wanted to extend Obamacare tax credits for millions of Americans, fearing premiums will skyrocket once those credits expire in January. But Republicans opposed, saying they will hold a vote on the Affordable Care Act subsidies in December.
I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I also have several issues with certain foods. So SNAP really helps me keep within that diet, that dietary that I need to keep my health, which is really important, so that I don't, end up in hospital. And also, it's important for me to be able to say I am food secure.
And that woman is from the Bronx. She's talking about SNAP benefits. Now, reopening the government means federal workers will begin to get paid again, and food stamp benefits known as SNAP will be restored, and that's a big thing impacting 42 million Americans who rely on the program. Yesterday, the Supreme Court extended an order blocking full SNAP payments, which means the Trump administration does not have to fully fund the program, withholding nearly $4 billion for food stamps. The Supreme Court initially ruled on the matter after a lower court ordered the Trump administration to fully fund the program. Since then, some families in certain states have received their benefits, others have not. Here in New York, Governor Hochul recently decided to use emergency funds to pay those benefits so SNAP recipients could now go and buy food. Now, as for the vote, as you know, we are waiting for that vote to happen. Once the House votes, the bill then passes and goes to President Trump's desk. He needs to sign off. Rosanna and Curt.
All right. Thank you very much, Jessica. Well, the government shutdown is leaving the city's nearly 2 million SNAP benefit recipients wondering just how they're going to feed their families.
But there is some relief thanks to New York Common Pantry Truck, the food pantry on wheels, making regular visits to NYCHA's Douglas houses on the Upper West Side. The center is open every day because people stop by and they're desperate for help.
We got people actually not paying rent because they need to pay food. What kind of stuff is that? This is New York City. We built this country.
Everybody's in need. It's been a lot harder now that everybody has to worry about where their income is coming from, where their money is supposed to go.
To make sure the food goes right to the people, they must show an ID when picking up that aid. All right, still no relief if you are going to hit the skies. Flights continue to face major delays and cancellations. And
the bad could, in fact, get worse, with more flight reductions planned as the week goes on. Good day's Briella Tomasetti back at LaGuardia this morning. What have you seen so far as delays and cancellations go?
Yeah, well, Curt and Rosanna, a little bit better of a day today compared to what we saw over the past week. A few cancellations on the board here at Terminal B, a few delays. Other than that, though, again, it looks a lot smoother. According to FlightAware, yesterday we saw airlines in the U.S. canceling about half as many flights as they did the day before. Yesterday, though, here at LaGuardia, we saw 140 cancellations, and half the flights leaving the airport and coming in were delayed. That was pretty bad here at LaGuardia. It was the worst in the country, actually, for delays yesterday. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy hasn't really given a timeline as to when the FAA will be able to roll back the current restrictions. He did, though, try to reassure Americans by saying that things should get better within 24 hours of the government reopening.
We have had significant staffing shortages with our air traffic controllers. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, very rough travel days, significant cancellations and significant delays. However, today has been a much better day. A lot more air traffic controllers are coming in. Anywhere from 24 to 48 hours after the government opens, they're going to get a photo ID and 70% of their pay.
Some air travelers who ran into trouble at Newark, JFK, and LaGuardia opted to switch their flights to Westchester County Airport. In other cases, their airlines did it for them. The regional airport has seen an uptick in passengers because it's not directly impacted by the FAA's mandate affecting large commercial hubs. It was a change of scenery, to say the least, with most arrival boards showing flights running ahead of schedule due to less air traffic in and out of that airport. Many say it's worth paying a few extra dollars in exchange for reassurance that they will make it to their destinations on time. And as for passengers we spoke with this morning, things seem to be looking up, but that doesn't mean that they aren't skeptical about flying in the first place.
My flight was canceled last night, and so now we're on an earlier flight today. So hopefully I continue to get my upgrade to first class. Hopefully they won't bump me down.
Nervous, yes.
Is this the first time you've been on a plane since the shutdown?
Yes.
So you're not a regular?
Not a regular traveler.
What's the situation right now with your flight?
Well, I think it's scheduled. I haven't got notification. It's supposed to go off at 9:09.
That's a good sign so far, right?
Keep my fingers crossed, but I'm going to go look at the board.
Are you nervous traveling?
A little bit, yeah. But
what are you trying to tell yourself while you're at the airport if, something happens? You nervous?
a little bit, but I can always catch another flight.
And if the government does not reopen, passengers could see even more of a travel headache into this weekend, possibly after that, with the FAA set to cut flights by 8% at those 40 major airports tomorrow, and then up that to 10% on Friday. Duffy also warned worst case scenario that some airlines could ground their fleets. Hopefully, Rosanna and Curt, we will have more of an idea as to what's going on in just a few hours from now. But back to you.
Fingers crossed.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Briella. Hey, the Mega Millions jackpot, it's getting closer to $1 billion. No one won the big jackpot last night.
But you know what? Check your tickets, especially if you win Suffolk County, because somebody in Suffolk County won $3 million last night. Here are the numbers: 10, 13, 40, 42, 46. Mega Ball won. Apparently, the jackpot now is going to be huge on Friday. I think it's going to be $965 million. But somebody in Suffolk County won it, and yeah.
$3 million?
$3 million is nothing to sneeze at.
Somebody's going to wake up very happy this morning.
All right, let's talk about another sign of the season that we're getting into the happiest time of the year. The New York Botanical Garden is getting ready for its 34th annual holiday train show.
Our cameras were invited to the Bronx for a sneak preview. The train show has become a holiday tradition here in the city. This year it features 30 model trains traveling through more than a mile of track. The miniature and magical landscape includes about 200 replicas of New York landmarks.
We're able to now see folks coming with their own kids who visited when they were children. We have people coming in groups of adults. We have people coming on date nights to our evening programs. And it's just really a fun holiday experience for people of any age.
Well, the Holiday Train Show officially opens up on Saturday and runs all the way through the holidays, ending on January 11th. So plenty of time to get out and see it.
Okay, meanwhile, more friendly faces are coming to Target. Not everybody's smiling back, though.
There's a brand new policy the retailer is rolling out ahead of the holidays. We'll tell you what New Yorkers have to say about it after the break.
Fox.
You and I see differently on this.
Yes. And surprisingly, we've kind of done a role reversal. Because I'm usually the one that's like, oh, I like happiness and joy.
Yeah.
And you're usually, bah humbug. But no, this time it's me being the old grumpster.
Well, because I just think that we've gotten to a place now where we have to teach young people the basics of being courteous and being in the hospitality business.
Well, but I don't think working in department stores it's not even a department store. What is Target? It's a store.
It's a store.
Because you can go grocery store, department store, whatever it is. I don't think that's the hospitality business. I think when I go there, I'm going there for a reason. I want to get my stuff and be left alone. I don't need you come. Like if I'm going to a restaurant
but it's a service
or a hotel,
business. It's a service business.
Restocking the shelf.
We're going to explain, but
restocking the shelf's not necessarily the service business. I don't need you to come up to me and be friendly. But that's just my opinion.
We're going to argue all morning about this, but
Yes.
you know what? We're going to take it to the streets because Target has a new policy.
Yes.
Crystal Young is talking to people on the streets, and then we'll discuss
Okay,
again.
let Crystal explain what the
Okay.
policy is first.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I love the lively debate. It is called the 10-4 policy, and they are rolling it out now as the holidays begin, and here's how it works. If you go into a Target store and you see an employee and you're about 10 feet away, they might wave to you or smile. They want to be engaging. But then, if you happen to be within 4 feet of that employee, then they are being taught, well, interact with that person, talk to them, be warm, be engaging. Target is saying we want everyone to feel welcome. Now, some people are saying, well, why are you only doing it for the holidays? Shouldn't you be like that all the time? Is it going to stop on January 2nd? And New Yorkers, a specific bunch, do you need all that interaction, or do you just want to buy your mouthwash and your Bengay and get out? So I took it to the streets to find out, and the answers are a little all over the place. Take a listen.
You're preparing the guests for some really awkward and sort of false, forced interactions. And so I think it's going to, at least in the short run, increase the discomfort that people feel when they walk into the store because things will feel off.
I don't mind a smile, but the rest of it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm too much of a New Yorker to start talking to strangers. But here I am talking to you.
Exactly. So you never know. Look, I drew you right in, didn't I? But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So you're like, the smile
I
is
don't mind
cool?
a smile, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a wave would be a little awkward.
Well, I think in general, being nice to other people is the nice thing to do. So I think that's positive, and I support that.
I like the waving and the saying hi.
So you like part of it. You're like the 10-foot waving is okay.
Depends on where I'm going. You know, I'm a New Yorker, so sometimes I'm in a rush and I don't have time to chat.
So I should point out that first person you heard from was a marketing expert who clearly is like, I don't know about this policy. And then, of course, from New Yorkers that seem to love the 10-foot part, not so much the 4-foot part. So I guess it really does depend on who you ask. I have to say on this one, Curt, I'm a little more like you. I want to get in, get out, but you can smile. No waving, though. Waving's a little bizarre. Like if you waved at me, I'd be like, is it me? What are you waving at?
Right.
Is this an involuntary action? What's happening here? Okay.
And if someone's walking around
okay,
going,
I'm going to wave.
then it would freak me out. Maybe wave when you come in the door, say hello, thank you very much for coming to Target, and then leave me alone the rest of the way. How about that?
How about this? Can you help me? I'm looking for the toothpaste. Can you open it up? It's all locked up. But you know what I thought? Thank you, Crystal.
Thanks, Crystal.
You know what I thought? You know who's the big winner in this?
Who's that?
Target.
Oh, all the publicity?
Yes.
For sure. And they need it right now. They've had a lot of negative publicity this year.
They are the big winners
so
right now.
So they need to turn it around. All right, when we come back, we'll tell you how you can keep your skin glowing this holiday season.
I like that idea. We got some tips. We got a top dermatologist, one of our favorite, Dr. Whitney Bowe. And you brought a friend, skin influencer or skinfluencer, Jillian Gottlieb. This is going to be great. Okay, we're going to talk to both of you when we come right back.
province.
All right, let's just admit it, the holidays are here. And that often means extra nights out, more sugar, more salt, more fun, less sleep.
Yeah, and it takes a toll on your face, right? On your skin. Joining us right now, board-certified dermatologist Dr. Whitney Bowe. Nice to see you back.
Oh my
here
gosh,
on
thank you
Old
so
Day.
much for having me. So yes, so holiday season is officially here, and you are 100% right. Between the travel, the late nights, the parties, too many peppermint martinis, all that stress can take a toll on our skin.
And we're teaming up, you're teaming up with skinfluencer.
My girl.
Jillian Gottlieb. Nice to see
Jillian
you.
Gottlieb, we've got some tips.
We're so excited to be here. So tip number 1, you never want to go to bed with your makeup on.
You know what? Sometimes that is so attractive, but I know it's not going to work.
You can't, though. You got to start with
Kurt.
You got to take it off.
I'm not saying anything. Never mind.
Kurt doesn't have to do this. But Rosanna, you have to start with an oil-based cleanser followed by a water-based cleanser. You got to get it off before bed, right,
Now,
Dr.
a
Bowe?
pro tip is I would say skip the makeup wipes, guys.
Why?
So I know it's so tempting, it's so convenient, but these can actually dry out the skin and they can damage the skin barrier over time. Moving on to tip number 2.
Wait.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Before we move on to this.
Yes.
Because I do wear makeup for television, and I use these makeup remover wipes.
Yes.
But I use moisturizer afterwards. Are you saying that's not a good combination?
That's better, but the wipes by themselves, they tend to be kind of drying and stripping of the skin barrier. So somebody who has more oily skin, it's not such a big deal, but if you've dry skin, sensitive skin, you're prone to eczema, rosacea, over time, you'll notice your skin is more red, inflamed, irritated. So these are actually not great for the skin. There was actually a recent recall on the Neutrogena ones too, so you got to be a little careful
Why are they
with
still
those as
selling
well.
them, though?
I think they did a recall officially, but it was certain geographic regions because it was only certain lot numbers that were a problem.
So if you see it in the store right now, it's okay.
Right now, the ones that are still available should be okay. But again, I'm not really giving my blessing for makeup wipes anyway. So guys, go to with like La Roche-Posay and something you can wash off anyway. So tip number 2, if you wake up in the morning after a holiday party and you've got puffy under eyes, we deal with that all the time, right? What you can do is you can take these are fun, they're from my friend Jenny Patinkin, they're cryo globes. Kurt, I'm going to give you one of these. And what you can do is you can just swipe from the inside out, and what it does is it just pushes that extra fluid into the lymphatics. Our lymphatics drain right in front of our earlobe, so it just helps you depuff a little bit quickly in the morning.
How many times do you have to do that swipe?
Just a couple times. It's not doing anything permanent for the skin. It just helps you sort of depuff quickly so you can get out and go. But girl, Jillian has a hack for this, using something that's already in your kitchen. You don't have to spend a penny.
I like budget skincare, okay? You're going to grab 2 spoons, put them in the fridge for about 5 minutes, and you're just going to go like this.
That's it?
Yep. You're just going to take them under your eyes and gently depuff. It's depuffing on a budget. We love it, right?
Like you said, you've got spoons all over the place.
We got spoons all over. Okay, moving on. Hydration and exfoliation. That is really key this holiday season, right? So Dr. Bowe and I have curated a kit that has everything that you need. We've got our peptide serum, P46, and our exfoliation night. That is our chemical exfoliant. And I have some amazing before and afters to show you. Can we see my before picture?
Let's do it.
Okay, so you can see I'm struggling with some discoloration, texture, redness. Now, I added these 2 products into my routine. A couple months later, let's look at my after.
So much better.
Isn't that amazing?
You got the glow.
I got the glow.
So
now
she's like, we got to do a kit. We got to put these in a kit together. So here's before and after, side by side.
Isn't that amazing? The glow, the radiance, the texture. So P46, that's what keeps you hydrated all day and all night.
How long was the interim?
About 3 months.
3 months or so?
Isn't that incredible,
that
though?
Is, yeah.
Right? And then exfoliation night, that's promoting cell turnover, right? So we've got this amazing hydrator, this amazing exfoliant, the 2 of them together, incredible. So the price, P46, is $130 alone because it's got that advanced peptide technology. And exfoliation night alone is $79. But together in our kit, you get these 2 products for $125. That's less than this 1 product alone. That's 40% off.
Because you're selling like crazy, so head on over to drwhitneybowbeauty.com because once they sell out, they're gone for good. It's a limited edition holiday set only. And then last tip, guys, you got to prioritize your sleep. I brought a sleep mask with me, but anything that gets you that deep restorative sleep, game-changing for your skin, helps de-stress you and can keep your skin glowing from the inside out all season long, right? So sleep is huge.
Good information. Jillian, tell us a little bit about you. This is our first time meeting you.
I'm so happy to be here. So I'm a skincare influencer, if you will. I'm an actor. actor and a comedian, and I love educating people on skincare with a little bit of a comedic twist and debunking misinformation, and I'm so happy to be here with Dr. Bo. I'm so excited.
True edutainment. Have you guys heard of
Edutainment? Yes.
Combining education with entertainment, which is really what resonates with people on social media because you have a short attention span, so you kind of want to laugh and learn something at the same time. And Jillian's like the master of that.
She's an edutainer who's a skinfluencer.
Exactly.
She's the combo package.
Going on over here. Exactly.
Well, Jillian, it's very nice to meet you. Thanks for coming to Good Day. Always good to see you, Dr. Bo.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Your skin looks fantastic. Anyway, thank you so much. All right, when we come back, singer and actress Naturi Naughton-Lewis is here.
Yeah, she's got a new film premiering on Lifetime. We can't wait to talk about it because, you know what? We're going to take a sneak peek with you about Friends and Lovers, and you're going to break it down for us, right?
I just want to know that it's possible that maybe we can work hard and be in love.
There's a woman out there who will understand what it is you're building.
Hello? I need to pay with my phone?
How do I repay you?
A smile is repayment enough.
You know where this is going. That's a clip from Lifetime's Eric Jerome Dickey's Friends and Lovers. It's based on his New York Times best-selling novel.
The two-night original film is the centerpiece of the network's Love of a Lifetime November movie slate. And joining us now is the star of Friends and Lover, actress Naturi Naughton-Lewis. Always good to see you. Thanks for coming to Good Day again.
Hi, thank you so much, Curt.
Okay, so help us out with the premise of this, because we see a pair of ladies and a pair of guys and they're friends and they're dating and...
Yeah, that's life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's really a genuine story about how to find, you know, your love, but also how to maintain friendship during that process. There's girlfriends and how my character, Deborah, she's an OBGYN, and she thinks that she can get the perfect man by like this crazy list of like, he's got to have this much money, he's got to be this tall, and sometimes that just is not how it works. So Deborah learns that she's got to let go a little bit. She has an awesome best friend, played by Simone Missick, and then the boys, Ronrico Lee and Kendrick Sampson, we have a good time in this movie, and I think it's just showing how love is also something you have to be open to in an unexpected way. You can't predict it all the time.
Okay, so I don't know how deeply you can go because it hasn't aired yet. It airs Saturday and Sunday on Lifetime.
Yes, I'm excited.
The notes say there's a tragedy that happens.
Yeah,
that
impacts
everybody.
So I don't want to give too much away because there is a storyline that my character is going to have to deal with, and I just think as women, there's always things, and also she's trying to become a mother. My character, I can tell you, she's desperately going through the process of trying to become pregnant, and she has to use different measures like IVF. And I think it's just a journey through that process that I think some women can relate to. So Friends and Lovers also has some really deep drama. So get ready to tear up a little bit, but also laugh. But you might cry.
It keeps it real.
Yeah, it keeps it real. So get ready.
That's why we love Lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
Why did you want to take on this role?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I love Lifetime, too. I've been watching Lifetime since I was a young girl. And I just love how honest these stories are, but this particular role felt refreshing from my other role, obviously, is Tasha in Power.
Yeah, we love that.
Yes, yes.
We were wondering what was going on with
I know.
that role.
I was like, well, maybe, you never know. Tasha's still alive. She might come back through. So we'll see.
Okay.
But for this, I wanted to play something romantic. It's a romantic drama. It's refreshing. She gets a chance to be in love. She's dating. And I remember that time in my life. I'm now married, so thank God I'm not in these streets single because it's not fun.
I say that all the time.
I mean, I don't want to be single. I mean, no shade to the single people out there, but it's work. But I will say, that this is a chance to be a refreshing romantic role, and I haven't done anything like that before.
Well, you're great in it. We have another clip from Friends and Lovers.
Yes, thank you.
I love being an OBGYN, and I love helping women, Black women especially. But right now, my dream is to be a mom. Yeah. Nah, I ain't trying to scare you. I know talking about having babies on the first date is a lie. Don't get shook.
I am a man. I'm a grown man. I'm a man in my 30s, okay? I can handle it.
Not everybody can handle it.
I know. Talking about having babies on the first date.
No. That was challenging.
You know, you talk about it being a different role than a lot of people know you for in the whole Power series. Yeah. But you take a look at this, Eric Jerome Dickey.
Yeah, iconic.
I was going to say, an icon within the community, passed away due to cancer. Do you feel any more responsibility for a role like this to kind of carry that message and that legacy on?
You know, that's such a great question, and I'm so glad people are recognizing that it was a book before it was a movie. You know, we're trying to bring his voice to a new generation of fans, and I love that Lifetime is doing that. But Eric Jerome Dickey is a classic, author that I think should be celebrated, and may he rest in peace. I'm just glad that we are doing it, but it did come with a level of pressure because there's so many fans like, oh, I remember Friends and Lovers. I read that when I was, especially in that era. So I think the pressure also makes you be more meticulous and just be on point. So I don't take pressure as a bad thing. I look at it as like, oh, I got to come with it. So I think I just want to make him and his legacy proud.
Well, you are. Obviously. And everybody's going to love the show.
I think so. So Saturday night, November 15th is part 1. Sunday night, November 16th is part 2. So make sure you watch both nights because the drama unfolds in the second part. Friends and Lovers is an event, and I think make sure you actually watch it live.
Are you going to be like live tweeting or anything like that?
I might be. I'm going to have, actually, I'm doing a little special if you want to drink with me, like a little cocktail. I have a new gin, Tuck Gin. I'll send you a bottle.
Okay.
So Tuck Gin and we're partnering on a specialty drink that you can be live with me and have your cocktail and drink. So make sure to go to the website. Yeah, you can watch the movie. Go to tuckgin.com.
I know how I'm spending my weekend.
I'll make sure to send you a bottle.
You had me,
delicious.
You could drink with me. That's all I needed right there.
Get your popcorn, get your cocktail, and it'll be an opportunity to enjoy some Tuck and have a good time watching Friends and Lovers.
There you go. You see it starting Saturday, part 1, Sunday, part 2, both at 8 o'clock on Lifetime. Thank you so much for joining us. Very nice to see you.
always love coming here.
We love
and
having
yes,
you here.
and the next time I'll come and dress a little sexier for you.
You know what? I was seeing.
I'll do it.
I saw her on Sherry yesterday. Was it yesterday?
A couple days ago.
Yes. And I'm like, oh, first of all, you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
And I'm like, but is she going to show a little off today for us?
I kept it modest. I didn't want to do too much, but I'm still feeling cute.
This is the pre-drink look.
Yes, this is the pre-drink.
There we go.
Saturday, tune in, and you'll see what I'm wearing on the show.
All right. Well, you always look fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, coming up, family drama front and center in a hilarious but endearing new comedy film called Unexpected Christmas.
Lil Howery, Dominique Perry, Tabitha Brown, Rico Ross chat with us about the film next.
The cast of Unexpected Christmas is taking dysfunctional family holiday parties to a whole new level. Imagine showing up to your family gathering only to find out your stepsister is dating your ex-boyfriend. Are you kidding me?
It sounds like a mess, and sometimes the messiest moments actually bring the biggest laughs and maybe even a little holiday healing. Lil Howery, Dominique Perry, Tabitha Brown, and Rico Ross are all here joining us from the movie. Good to see you. Thank you for coming to Good Day.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to try and talk to all of you, but I want to start with you, Tabitha and Lil Rel, because you're executive producers on this. I'll start with you, Tabitha. First, this is the craziest concept when you hear, but there's enough reality in it. You go, I could see that happening in a lot of families.
You know what? You can see it happening, and I may or may not have seen it happen before. You know, maybe it wasn't at Christmas, but you know, I've known some things to happen like that. But we need a little bit of drama because that is what happens in families, okay? But it's funny, but it's also some healthy resolutions can happen once we all bring it to the table and have a conversation. So I think that's what people are identifying with.
All right, Lil Rel, so you're the ex and current boyfriend that's brought in, right?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is kind of weird. So when you saw this script and you had an idea about what this movie would be, what drew you to it?
That was it, actually, because it was a different twist. And because I watch a lot of these Christmas movies, especially the ones with families, but this had a different dramatic twist. Also, like, I've done enough of these interviews where I don't know if Richard was that wrong.
Okay. He's still in character. He's still in character.
Because that's the thing, too. Once you take on a role, you have to empathize for whoever you're playing.
Right. Yeah.
And so, like, at some point, the more I, kind of started playing in my head how I was going to do this, I'm like, well, Richard he didn't know. So, like, how's he supposed to... See, there we go.
I'm not judging you, but I'm judging you. Dominique, tell us a little bit about your character.
Oh, Marissa, she's, an around-the-way girl, earthy. She's not as glamorous or whatever, as successful as her sister Carrie, but she is dating Richard. And, she's trying to just balance her love life, career.
And she knows about that this guy's been around, right?
Well, no, he's perfect in her eyes. She doesn't know the secret until the secret comes at her front door. But she's just trying to balance, family dysfunction, secrets, and just everything, a loss in her family. So, yeah, all of that.
Rico, how do you fit in?
I am the patriarch. I play Mr. Willie, and I am that person. It's a blended family. I came in, so I have to make those adjustments. And I come in with a daughter, too, as well, which happens to be her stepdaughter. And it is the type of role that the character that I aspire to be.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Are we going to cry during this? Usually...
You are going to cry.
You are going to
laugh. You are going to do all of those things above.
It's an emotional roller coaster, but a good ride.
You're going to be yelling at me.
Is that your role, just to be yelled at?
Yeah, I guess so. Man. After all the screeners, people be really mad at me.
Yeah, literally every screening, the Atlanta screening I was blessed to go to and attend, and everybody literally was at the edge of their seats, like yelling at the camera, everything like that. I mean, the screen, it was amazing.
So, Tabitha, how does this wind up being like a feel-good story?
Because it's still family. You're still gathering. It's tons of laughter. It's emotions that we all need to, like, tap into sometimes. But it's beautifully done. Like, there is a happy ending. And I think that's the message for everybody's family drama. There could still be a happy ending.
It's nothing weird like you married both sisters or anything, is it?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
No, but she hit it on the head. It's something beautiful about the theme of, like, making sure love is at the forefront when it comes to family.
And if I could say this film is a black cast up there, but it deals with human issues. Yes. And so when you see the film, no matter what culture you're from, you're going to see somebody you know up there or yourself.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I'm this character, though. By the way, Unexpected Christmas, we have a little clip. Let's take a look at them in action.
Hey, I'm glad I finally got you alone. Look who now wants to talk. Yes, I do want to talk. Okay, what's this about you having a boyfriend? What is this about you dating my sister? I didn't know that was your sister. Oh, no, I didn't. Y'all don't have pictures together? Okay, y'all got different last names. You live on different sides of the country. How am I supposed to know? How long? Richard, tell me, did I not mean anything to you?
Hey, what are you guys up to?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to say, based off that clip, Richard may not be wrong. If he didn't know, different last names, different parts of the country, come on.
He didn't even tell, it's,
Two different sides of the country.
Different last names.
How you supposed to know?
But one man dating two women at the same time.
It's just ridiculous.
Maybe.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
So people have to watch it to figure out which side they're on. It is in theaters now.
Yes.
Thank you so much, The Unexpected Christmas. We really appreciate it.
So fun.
Thank you.
So wait, how can we see it?
It's in theaters.
In theaters.
Right now.
Right now. I gotta go.
Yeah.
All right. Good Day's coming right back.
Thank you.
We know we can't change everything you don't like about shopping, but here at Stop and Shop, we're going all out to improve what we can.
Thank you.
We've seen you doing finger math in the store, but no more of that. You deserve a better way to save.
Heck yeah, I do.
With over 10,000 items always on sale, it's time we actually loved grocery shopping.
Justin, when was the last time you went on break?
I'm on break right now. With so many ways to save, good things are in store at Stop.
Box 5.
Well, New York designer Mark Bauer has dressed some of the most famous women in the world. He's also a longtime advocate of the amazing organization North Shore Animal League of America.
Well, this morning he's back in the Good Day studio and he's brought some adorable dogs who are looking to find a forever home. Don't get any ideas, because I know that as you go along, you start adopting too.
Oh, it happens, but it's a good thing.
I know.
Yes.
You and North Shore, really, you know, beautiful friendship.
They're an incredible organization. They're a no-kill shelter. Because, you know, thousands of dogs and cats, beautiful puppies, older dogs and cats, are euthanized every day just because they can't find them a home. So we say, please don't shop, adopt. And North Shore Animal League is the place to go.
So you partner with them. Obviously, you made your name in the fashion world. You love animals.
I do.
And so this is the perfect combination for you, is to partner or show people what you can do from a fashion standpoint with a puppy.
Yeah. Once you have a voice, it's important to have a cause.
Yes.
And I've always loved animals, and of course I love fashion. So combining the two is like nirvana for me.
Can we see a little bit of that right now?
Yeah.
I think you brought some friends with you.
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
our first model. Gorgeous. What a dress, Mark.
Oh, this is the beautiful Anna, and she is carrying Macy. Macy is a puppy.
Oh, Macy's
He's
so cute.
Yeah, he's not that old. He's only a few months old.
Let's say 10 weeks old.
10 weeks old. Yeah, and he's ready for someone to just take him and love him and give him a forever home.
And Mark, a lot of these animals, they already come, they've seen the vet, and they're up to date on all their shots and things like that.
Yeah, North Shore does that all for you. They make sure that that puppy or kitten, sometimes when they land up there, they're very sick or they've been abused. They get them back to health, get them all the shots so they're ready to go, and they can give you food and cat litter and stuff. They set you up perfectly.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's check in with Sabrina. She's got a friend, a little Yorkie.
Oh, Sabrina has, and I would adopt this dog if I could. It's the beautiful Sabrina with a Yorkshire Terrier, and that is Oliver, the sweetest little thing. Almost like a teacup, he's so tiny.
He really is, and he's chill too.
He's so chill.
Because Yorkies can have energy, which people need to know when you adopt. Make sure you adopt the right dog for you and your lifestyle.
Yes, well, they let you spend time with the animals there. They have all these different rooms, and you can go chill, you can come back, you don't have to make the decision right away, and you'll find something as wonderful as Oliver, the perfect companion for anybody.
Beautiful. And Mark, that dress.
Thank you. This is from my new collection. Well, you know, it's the holiday, New Year's, it's red carpet season. We don't stop until the Oscars are over, so I've got to have all these gowns ready to go.
Well, I love Sparkle on that one. Really brings the glam.
Thank
Gorgeous.
you.
Thank you so
Sparkle
much.
with the train.
Yeah, I love the train.
I can't
So
even
fun.
Sabrina. Oliver is so
I can't stop
so
looking
cool.
at the gown.
We're both happy then.
Well, Oliver's hard not to look at.
He
He's
really
so
is.
gorgeous.
Great personality. You can just see just the way she's holding him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more. Kissing it.
Here we have the beautiful Kissinette. And Kissinette is holding Sophia, a Chihuahua. And Sophia is 7 years old, but so sweet. What a little angel. Sophia's a perfect pet, just waiting to be taken and loved.
I know,
with me
Sophia
forever
seems
home.
very huggable. So what's the process like, Mark? If somebody's at home right now and wants to adopt one of these 3 dogs that they're watching on TV. Or another dog. Do they just show up at North Shore, or do they have to call? Like, do they need an appointment?
Well, it's best to call. I mean, I'm sure North Shore's not going to turn away anybody who wants to adopt and who's a good person to adopt, because they do background checks. To make sure the animals are not abused and that they have a good home and are fed properly. So, but the best is to call them and make an appointment and tell them what you're looking for. And they'll do some sort of background check on you before you come in, just so that you don't waste their time. So.
Right. And are there fees involved with
No,
this?
you can make a donation. Please make a donation, especially this time of year. It's so cold out. There's so many animals that need help. So whatever you can do, so it's a couple of dollars, a couple $1,000, whatever you can do.
If you got it?
Yeah, please help us out.
Because it not only helps with the dog or cat, whatever the animal is that you adopt, it helps provide space for the next one. or the next 10 or whatever it is, because not
Exactly.
everyone else can afford to do the same thing.
People
So if you
don't
can-
realize that because it's so hard for them to keep all these animals and what it costs. So when one goes out to a forever home, it makes space for a new animal to come in and be cared for.
Mark, before you go, we got to ask about your new line. So, do you have a showroom? Like, how can people find you?
Yes, I have a showroom down in the Financial Center, and you can book an appointment with me. And everything's bespoke, everything is made to order. We do have our collections. I do 3 or 4 collections a year, and we have vintage pieces too. And you can come in and we can make something exactly that you like or that you need.
And maybe people can come and just use your computer and look at puppy photos.
They can, and I have my rescue dog there, Eliza, that I got from North Shore Animal League. And
You have a dog and a cat from there?
I have 2 cats.
Ah.
Yes, I just recently adopted a kitten, a black kitten, and I was just telling Rosanna, they find it very hard to get black cats or kittens adopted because people have all these weird connotations about them. So I thought to myself, next time I'm able to adopt an animal, it's going to be a black cat. And I got my beautiful velvet kitten. He was actually in the photo shoot. I guess we're going to see some of the pictures from the photo shoot that we did. And I fell in love with him. And now he's this size, he's a year-old. He's
You've been
huge.
feeding him well, Mark.
Yes, yes.
No, that's not your cat.
No, these are all North Shore Animal League dogs. They've probably been adopted by now because the shoot was done a while. There's my
your
cat. That's
Okay.
Velvet.
Aw.
Yes, I totally fell in love with that. Was with Sabrina. That was.
Well, I can tell you one thing, and you know, and this is about you and your dog and your cat and North Shore. You know, my wife and I have rescued dogs. It is the best thing you can do. It's weird. You know, there's the cliche. I wonder who rescued who. But when you do it, it's like there's a love that all animals give you, but it seems as though they almost know.
Yeah.
That like you kind of save them from something.
The
At least I
unconditional
feel that way.
love, the love of an animal is something so unique and so wonderful, especially for people who don't have children. And even if you do have children, it's a very special bond you have between you and your animal, and it gives you such joy and companionship. Just an incredible experience.
And rescue's the way to go.
Rescue,
It really is.
adopt, don't shop.
There we go.
Mark
Thank you, Mark.
Bauer. Thank you so much
my
for being
pleasure.
here. And North Shore Animal League
Thank
of
you to my
America.
girls.
Thank you. And the ladies.
And all the little puppies as well.
And all the
Yes,
beautiful
thank you all.
animals.
They
Thanks,
need homes.
thanks everybody for behaving.
Thank you.
You too.
I
All
know.
right, let's check in.
I was good for the moment,
I was
right?
about to say, everyone in the studio is very well behaved.
I
It's
know.
so nice, yes. Also looking good is our temperatures right now across the tri-state area. 42 degrees in Central Park. Yesterday's high was 41, so we're off to a really much more comfortable start than we had yesterday. 43 in Islip, it's 42 for you in Bridgeport. All of these temperatures are milder than they were at this time yesterday. And our winds a little breezy, but they're coming out of the southwest. That's a milder wind flow for us, and that's why our temperatures will be higher than what we experienced on Tuesday. Not much in the way of rainfall here. We had a couple of isolated sprinkles earlier this morning, and we could see a few flakes just skirting northern portions of Sullivan and Ulster and even Dutchess counties. These are coming downwind of the Great Lakes, where central and western New York is really getting plagued with lake effect snow. But we're going to stay dry here. Looks like we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. More clouds than sun, but overall it's going to be a dry and quiet weather pattern for the tri-state area. There's another front that we're watching here. This one could squeeze out a sprinkle or a flurry tomorrow in the Hudson Valley, but the rest of us should stay dry. High pressure is dominating the midsection of the nation, and that's headed in our direction, allowing for a quiet and dry weather pattern for the most part over the next couple of days. So today we're looking at highs to approach 50 degrees in many spots, including right here in New York City. Tonight, not too bad. 41 will be tonight's low in the city, some 30s in the suburbs, but not as brutal as it was yesterday for sure. We stay in the 50s for the next couple of days. It also stays windy. We could have wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour today, a little lighter tomorrow, and breezy on Friday. It turns a little cooler on Saturday, and that's when our next chance of rain comes in. It won't happen until the evening, which is good for Saturday plans, but Saturday night, you might need your umbrella handy, and that rain will last overnight into early on Sunday. Once the sun breaks out on Sunday, though, we're going up to 60 degrees. That sounds nice. Yeah.
We'll take it this time of year.
6'7".
No, 6-0. No, that doesn't quite work.
Okay.
All right, we'll work on that. We'll be back.
Power Month.
All right, let's talk about holiday fun.
Okay.
We're not?
Go for it.
Yeah. Netflix is serving it up with their new rom-com. Oh, that's going to happen later.
Yeah, that's later.
All right, so you know what? Forget it.
We're done.
We're done?
We're done.
Stick a fork in us?
Okay. Yes. Or you can use one of those spoons underneath your eyes.
I need one
You
of
can
those
put
right
that in
now.
it right there because we are done with this edition of Good Day New York.
Sherry Shepherd's next, and so is Jay Hud right after that.
And then don't forget to watch the Noon at noon, and then we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
All right, good morning. How you feeling out there? It is 10:02 on a Wednesday morning. Hope everyone is all good. Thank you so much if you're tuning in to Good Day New York live on the Fox Local app or on our YouTube stream. Well, here we are. This is Newsroom Live. We love to bring you exactly what's happening as it's happening. One of the beauties of this particular part of the broadcast here at Fox 5. If you're on the YouTube channel, you can always sort of chime in on the side. We have the chat there. If you have a question about something that's going on, or if you just want to lay in a comment, we will try to get to it and talk about what's going on. But let's talk about what's happening in the city. Let's take a look outside. Look at that. Okay, it's the George Washington Bridge. It is a nice chilly day today. A lovely structure, of course, here in the city of New York. And boy, oh boy, did you hear about this little beef kind of brewing here in the city? I guess that's what you might call it, Robert Moses. It is current New York City Mayor Eric Adams. He laid a little something out there for Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani. We're talking about kind of what was said yesterday, and the mayor said something pretty interesting. What was going on with that?
Yeah, so let's back up a second. So a few times on the campaign trail, Zoran Mamdani threatened that if he won the election and Benjamin Netanyahu ever set foot on New York City soil, that he would direct the NYPD to arrest him. Why is that?
Okay, that's a part of the campaign. That's what Mamdani's saying on the campaign. He's speaking out against the war in Israel, some of the things that are happening there, or the war in Gaza. I should
Right. So the International Criminal Court, the ICC, which the U.S. is not a party to, the ICC issued last year an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu for alleged war crimes in Gaza following the October 7th attack. So Mamdani says that even though the U.S. is not party to the ICC, he believes in following international law, and therefore, if Mamdani ever sets foot here in the city under his watch, under Mamdani's mayoralty, he will have the NYPD arrest Netanyahu.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yesterday at the Veterans Day parade, Eric Adams said, hey, I'm going to Israel on Friday.
The end of this week?
And the end of this week is going to be there Friday to Tuesday. And guess what? I'm going to invite Benjamin Netanyahu to visit New York City on what day? January 1st.
I think we have a piece of that sound, right? Can we run that sound of exactly what the mayor said yesterday? Let's take a listen. This is at the parade.
I'm going to invite him to join me on January 1st here in New York so we could see this rich Jewish community we have here.
I think the mayor is free to spend his final days and weeks and months as he so pleases.
All right, so Zoran Mamdani sort of taking the high road there a little bit. I mean, why would Mayor Adams, why would he say that?
Well, you could do it. I mean, is this the sort of the ultimate I dare you?
Call your bluff kind of thing?
Kind of, all right, yeah, I'm gonna make you put your money put your money where your mouth is. I mean, what a start this would be if in fact the mayor does this. He's not the only one who invited Netanyahu to the city on that day.
Oh, who else did?
The Republican city councilwoman Ina Vernikov, who endorsed Andrew Cuomo in the primary. She also posted a letter that she sent to Netanyahu inviting him again on the swearing-in day here in the city, January 1st, 50 days from today.
It's interesting because the mayor also said yesterday that he does want to work with Mamdani. You know, so he's kind of saying taking two different roads here, where he said, you know, I do want to meet with him, I do want to let him know, I have called him. So he's kind of trying to walk both sides of the line here.
Yeah, the mayor a couple times has used the metaphor of flying a plane, and he says that he doesn't want Mamdani to crash the plane. He wants to help him kind of guide the plane through turbulence. Again, this is the mayor's imagery, and so he's willing to work with him and help ease the transition. He's previously said that he and his team are putting paperwork together again to help smooth the transition from the 110th to the 111th mayor. But this whole Netanyahu subplot is really interesting, and Mamdani is supposed to appear in Harlem later on this morning.
He will, yeah, the new Urban League Center.
I'm really interested to see what he says about this, because when he was asked yesterday, he was asked more about the mayor's trip to Israel and not the whole gambit about inviting Netanyahu here. So I would imagine that reporters are going to be asking Netanyahu specifically, asking Mamdani specifically about the Netanyahu invitation today.
Okay, well, that is certainly an issue that we're watching. Something else we're watching, if we can go to ELC4. ELC4, that's right there. This is a news conference. I believe that's going to begin. There's the Fox 5 microphone on the podium there. I believe this is a news conference that's going to begin relatively shortly. And this is by a series of landlords who are working with an organization, and they are planning to sue to stop rent stabilization. Now, that is sort of a broader topic, but it's also getting into a little bit of what the mayor-elect is talking about. What do we make of that?
Well, so every year the Rent Guidelines Board votes for typically rent increases on rent stabilized units here in the city. Well, as we know, Mamdani campaigned on a promise to freeze the rent. And so this, to me, is an example of kind of, again, I've used this phrase several times. It's not an original, but to borrow Mario Cuomo's phrase, you campaign in poetry, govern in prose. This is
in some sense, this is you can campaign on one thing, but all of a sudden, when you get there, you may find yourself in court.
This is an example of the political headwinds that the mayor-elect could encounter as he tries to enact some of these campaign promises, freezing the rent, free buses, and universal child care.
All right, so again, this is a news conference that's starting as we speak. A group of New York City landlords backed by the Institute for Justice filing a lawsuit claiming the city's rent stabilization law keeps rents so low that vacant apartments that owners can't afford, so they can't rent them out. So they're sort of taking a broader context of what's happening.
You know, and this is a fight that plays out every summer, really. We see these boisterous Rent Guidelines Board meetings, and what landlords argue, and particularly smaller landlords, those who maybe just have a few units in the city, is they say, hey, we sympathize with renters, but we have to put food on the table too, and it's expensive every year to maintain our buildings, keep up with the costs which escalate every single year, and my sense is this lawsuit, as you and I have talked about in the last few minutes, this lawsuit is kind of saying, hey, you can't forget about us landlords in this whole renters discussion.
And as we look forward, in short, Mamdani wants tighter control to protect renters. These landlords look like they want a little flexibility to put empty apartments back on the market. All right, so that's news conference. It's going to start in a couple minutes. Robert, we thank you very much.
Thank you.
So if that gets started, we will probably try to dip into that just for a few minutes. For now, I think we're going to take a little bit of a break. We had a lot to talk about. Went a little longer than I was expecting. We're going to check in with Briella Tomasetti. Briella, if you can hear me, I'm sorry we had to make you wait. I know you've been out there all morning. No, don't look. We're not ready for you yet. We're going to take a little break and we'll come right back. All right, we're coming back in here on Newsroom Live. It's about 10:12 on a Wednesday morning. It could be a big morning, especially down in Washington, D.C. I think we could take a look. Oh, there it is, the White House, where eventually this week, maybe even today, there could be a spending bill on President Trump's desk that would reopen the government. It is affecting all kinds of different issues all across the country, those SNAP benefits for millions of Americans, and certainly for millions of Americans, what's been happening in the friendly skies has not been so friendly lately. We've seen all kinds of issues with those air traffic controllers. Our Briella Tomasetti, she's been at different airports all week. She's been out at Newark, and this morning she is in LaGuardia, where you've been speaking with people. Briella, what do we think about where we are right now?
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen next, Dan. This is such an ever-evolving situation. But LaGuardia really is the perfect example because according to FlightAware, yesterday the airport saw 140 cancellations. It was the airport with the most cancellations in the country yesterday, and half of all flights in and out of the airport were delayed. Now, fast forward to today, we see some cancellations on the board behind me at Terminal B. This is an American Airlines hub, and we've seen a few delays. But when you put things into perspective, taking a look at today compared to yesterday, compared to last week, things look a lot significantly better than they were. And U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, he actually mentioned in a press conference from Chicago yesterday that this is because air traffic controllers are seeing that glimmer of light, that hope. They're starting to show back up. So that is one sign this is moving in the right direction.
Okay, Briella, and I know you were speaking to people out there at the airport today. I wanted to take a listen to what some of those folks were saying as you were out there talking to them earlier this morning. Let's take a quick listen to what they were saying.
My flight was canceled last night, so now we're on an earlier flight today. So hopefully I continue to get my upgrade to first class. Hopefully they won't bump me down.
Nervous, yes.
Is this the first time you've been on a plane since?
Yes, yes.
So you're not a regular?
Not a regular traveler.
What's the situation right now with the flight?
Well, I think it's scheduled. I haven't got notification. It's supposed to go off at 9:09.
That's a good sign so
Yeah.
far, right?
Keep my fingers crossed, but I'm going to go look at the board.
Are you nervous traveling?
A little bit, yeah. But
What are you trying to tell yourself while you're at the airport if, something happens? You're nervous?
a little bit, but I can always catch another flight.
All right, so she said you can always catch another flight. Certainly that is a possibility. Briella, we heard the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, say yesterday that even if this spending bill is signed today and the government sort of slowly starts picking things back up, we still could see some residual delays. I mean, is that something that could last all the way until Thanksgiving? Are we thinking it could go that far? What do we think?
Yeah, it possibly could, Dan. And I like to kind of compare it, if we want to make an analogy, to a light switch, right? This is not an on-off solve-all solution. It will be a gradual improvement. And the reason for that is because the Transportation Secretary has to assess this and roll back restrictions only when he sees the data improving, seeing the numbers of the staffers, the air traffic controllers coming back to work, and seeing that there are no staffing triggers, is I believe the aviation, the term that the higher those triggers are, the more halts they have to make. And some of the passengers we spoke to last night, even to segue for a moment, they are figuring out their own hacks in the meantime. They are booking flights out of other airports not impacted by these mandates. You have some flying out of Westchester County Airport, I believe MacArthur Airport on Long Island. They're smaller airports. Traffic is actually okay going in and out of there. There's no wait times. The luggage is coming out on time. It's like a totally night and day different scenario at those airports. So people are saying, I got to pay a little bit more money to fly out of there. Why not? If it's going to guarantee, or at least try to guarantee, that I get to where I'm going in time.
Well, Briella, thank you so much. I know it's been a busy week for you out there at the airport, certainly talking to a lot of those people. It's just so interesting. Air travel, when there are delays, sort of ripples through the entire economy, safety, supply chains, kind of see how fragile our infrastructure can be here in the U.S. Briella, hopefully tomorrow we can get you back in the studio. You don't have to be at one of those airports. Briella, thank you very much.
Yeah, you know what? And one more thing to add there, Dan. The restrictions, they continue tomorrow. Again, they go to 8% tomorrow,
right.
The cutting back on flights, and then 10% on Friday. So this isn't going to get better overnight.
Briella, thank you so much. We'll check back in with you soon. It is just about 10:17. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, don't forget you can always chime in the chat if you have a question. Maybe you want to talk about some of the issues that we're talking about. Maybe you are right now stuck on a flight somewhere and you want to tell us what is going on. Text us, put it in the chat. We will let the folks know. All right, so we were letting you know about some of the things that are actually happening right now in the city. And right now we do have this press conference going on. These are landlords in the city working with a law firm who are intending to sue some of the rent stabilization guidelines. They're saying that they have a lot of vacant apartments in the city and they can't rent them out. Let's take a listen to what this gentleman here is saying.
And that is unconstitutional, and it hurts both landlords and tenants alike. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Pashkun.
Good morning. My name is Pashkun Yuzurai, P-A-S-H-K-O, last name L-U-L-G-J-U-R-A-J. I'm one of the owners of this building behind us here. We're just trying to provide good, safe apartments to tenants who want and need them. But the rent laws of 2019 pretty much tied our hands. The laws specifically relating to individual apartment improvements harm just about everyone. It helps. It doesn't help anyone and harms all the parties concerned. Building owners, tenants, city coffers, contractors, their employees, supply houses. So it really the laws help no one, as I said, and harm most parties involved. But we're just trying to protect our constitutional rights and rights of other similar owners in the city.
All right, so we're taking a live listen into a group of New York City landlords backed by the Institute for Justice. They filed a lawsuit claiming the city's rent stabilization laws are keeping them from being able to rent out some of these vacant apartments. One thing to note here, when you think about it in a bigger picture, some of the issues that they're talking about do hold context as we look forward, as we fast forward into early next year when Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani is sworn in and becomes mayor, because, of course, Mamdani has campaigned on tightening control and to protect those renters, keep the rents stabilized, lower the rents. These landlords, they want flexibility to put those empty apartments back on the market. And so we'll see those campaign promises already running right up against the court of laws, the courts in those lawsuits. All right, so that's happening right now in the city. We'll take a quick break and we'll let you know what's happening down in Washington, D.C. We'll talk a little bit more about the government shutdown, which may not be shut down anymore. We'll be right back. All right, how about this camera view for a little newsroom shot? You can see us behind the scenes. You can see what we got going on. You can see all our fancy devices, our little buttons there, the nice equipment that we have. So he's going to hit a button right now, and then you're going to see the U.S. Capitol. There we go. That was magical.
Magic.
And I'm not going to call it magic down there in the Washington, D.C. area, because it's been a little muddy over the last couple days. But it looks like there may be a resolution. Like it or not, Democrats, it appears that they will be moving forward with voting on this spending bill. The question is if they have enough votes on the Republican side to pass it. It seems like they probably do, Jessica Formosa. I know you've been tracking this all week.
Yes.
What do we think this morning?
What do we think? So we do believe that this bill, the House will vote on it and it will pass, right? Once it passes, it goes to President Trump. He needs to sign off. And we heard him yesterday saying that the government is going to reopen.
He wants this to be over.
Yes, he wants this to be over. And honestly, I think millions of Americans who've been impacted by this want the government to reopen.
When you talk about millions of Americans, people who are affected, we're talking about 42 days. This is the 43rd day that the government has been shut down. The ripple effects, of course, we were just talking to Briella about air traffic controllers. We've been talking about that all week. But one of the things that has gotten attention, but it's hard to sort of really put it in perspective how much it is harming people who are like on SNAP benefits, who are
food stamps.
just on food stamps, who are unable to buy their food or have to choose between paying a rent, and buying food. I mean, these are real issues that are affecting real people, and I know we've been hearing from some of them.
Yeah, we've heard from a couple of, our viewers and people who live in the tri-state area, and some people who are on SNAP and are now getting on these long lines that they've never done before, waiting for a bag or a box of food.
Right.
And I feel for them because I feel like just the pride factor of it, you know.
The pride factor, yes.
That it's so hard for these families to right now, so much need that they may never had to go to a church asking for food, and now they are. And like you said, we've heard from people who are saying, I either pay my rent or I feed my children.
I think we talked to somebody, right?
We did. She's
okay.
So just a little background. Diana is from the Bronx, and she's on SNAP benefits. The thing is, here in New York, as you know, as of Sunday, Governor Hochul said, hey, listen, the government is not doing its part, so we're going to go ahead. We have the money. We're going to fund it. So here in New York, a lot of the recipients did get their full benefits, which is good. But that's not happening around the country. But listen, for a while, she was also struggling whether, do I pay my rent or do I feed myself? So take a listen.
I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I also have several issues with certain foods. So SNAP really helps me keep within that diet, that dietary that I need to keep my health, which is really important so that I don't, end up in hospital. And also it's important for me to be able to say I'm food secure.
Food secure, such a difficult situation.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the actual votes, Republicans control the Senate, but they needed several Democrats to cross over to get to their number 60 in order to pass it, including one independent. Now it goes to the House, so you get all the different branches involved here. The Senate, the House, of course, the Congress members, the House of Representatives, and the Republicans control that. But do they have enough votes to get it to pass? What do we think?
So this is the thing. If the Republicans all vote in favor, that's all they need. They don't need any Democrats. The question, though, is every Republican going to vote yes? Because what's the issue here and why are we and the government shut down for 43 days? Healthcare, right? Yeah. That's the main reason why we're even in this situation. So what happens now is a lot of even Republicans, like Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia, is warning her party, Republican. She's saying, hey, listen, we need to make sure that these premiums, health premiums, don't go up. Do not go up.
We have an interview related to this as well?
Yeah, well, Hakeem Jeffries, he spoke about this because obviously he's upset that this bill passed in the Senate without this provision, this measure, that to give these tax credits to millions of Americans who are on Obamacare.
Okay, let's take a listen.
Democrats will continue to press the case to say to our Republican colleagues, you have another opportunity to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits and make sure that tens of millions of Americans all across the country in communities that Republicans represent, along with us as Democrats.
We're opening up our country. Should have never been closed. Should have never been closed.
All right, so we'll see what happens a little later on today when it comes to this vote.
To the vote.
And is the vote going to happen today?
It's expected to happen today. You know, as you know, Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, told everyone who was, they were on recess, right, on vacation, because since mid-September said, hey, you need to come back today for this vote, because they want this vote to happen today. Hakeem Jeffries himself had some harsh words for Republicans saying, hey, listen, you guys were on vacation on taxpayer dollars while this is happening, like get back and vote. Now, this is the thing though, the Republicans are promising a vote when it comes to the healthcare tax credits in December, and that's because in January,
that's when they expire.
That's when they expire.
Okay.
Will that guarantee?
Promises made, promises kept? We'll see.
We'll see. And if they do even vote on it, will they pass that measure of keeping those tax credits, or extending the tax credits, I should say? That's all up in the air. So, I mean, obviously, I can just say this. It's been a mess for 43 days. The issue here, though, Americans impacted.
You feel for so many people out
there.
You
do.
All right. Well, it is 10:28, almost 10:29. We're going to take a quick break. We are going to talk to Audrey Puente about our weather when we come back. If we could, though, before we go to break, if we could look at Live View 4. So Live View 4 is where Mayor Eric Adams was just a little earlier at the annual memorial service for American Flight 587. That's the flight of an Airbus with passenger airline that crashed in Bell Harbor, New York, November 12, 2001. All 251 passengers, 9 crew members on board died. This is the annual memorial service. Let's take a listen to what the mayor's saying.
587. Not only the Bell Harbor community was impacted, but specifically the Dominican community. The flight was on its way to the Dominican Republic, and although it's 24 years later, this memorial gives the family an opportunity to reflect and to let the loved ones know that these lives were not forgotten. This is our way of constantly reminding ourselves that we lost a large number, over 200 residents of this city that perished on this flight. And it was several weeks after our September 11th tragedy. And so this is a deep wound that will probably never heal, but we will be there for each other.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so that was Mayor Eric Adams speaking at the annual memorial service for American Airlines Flight 587, flying to the Dominican Republic from JFK. So many people in the Dominican community here in the city affected by that. We will take a break. When we come back, we are going to speak to Audrey Puente. And a short time after that, we're actually going to zoom into someone who is in Jamaica. Of course, they had the hurricane there, Hurricane Melissa, devastating storm. A short time ago, so many people still recovering. We're going to get an on-the-ground look at what is happening there. You don't want to miss this interview. We'll be right back.
You're gonna check in with him. Could you put the writer's desk on one?
All right, welcome back. 10:33 here. You're live inside our newsroom on Fox 5. If you take a look at that screen right there, you see this gentleman right here? He is, yep, the gentleman right there. He is in Jamaica right now. We are zooming in with him. His name is Fabian Allen, and he is on the ground in Jamaica, a community there that is still underwater, Manchester Parish, from the hurricane. We're going to talk to him in just a minute. First, before we do that, I want to check in with Audrey Puente, who's watching some of the weather around in our area.
Yes.
But Audrey, I guess first, you know, Hurricane Melissa, 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half or so, that was maybe one of the most powerful storms that we've seen, certainly to hit Jamaica. What do we know?
It was in different realms depending on pressure and wind speed. It was either the top or the second most strongest storm to have hit the islands. Yeah, I mean it's definitely the biggest storm of the entire hurricane season for the Atlantic Basin. And I mean, extremely devastating. We've seen all the images coming out. It's a long time for recovery for them. You know, when I was watching this happen, I was thinking of Hurricane Dorian. That went through the Bahamas.
okay,
Remember
right.
the damage?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I mean, this is the same result.
Very similar.
Now, Jamaica is, of course, more populous than the islands that it hit in the Bahamas. Not that they matter any less, of course. So it's going to be a very, very long time. And with tourism as a major source of an economy, you know, their economy, this is problematic, not just for the damage cleanup, but the long-term effects.
Yeah, and it's part of the island where certainly a lot of the resort communities are. So we're going to check in with Fabian in just a minute. Let's talk about what's happening with our weather. I know we had some snowflakes yesterday.
A lot of folks were excited, including me.
I know we didn't have any this morning.
No,
but
not here.
Not here. Where did we get some flakes?
We got like Sullivan County. Because you can see up north, we still have lake effect snow bands coming through. So we could see a few flakes grazing northern portions of Sullivan, Ulster County, Dutchess County. For everyone else, though, it's just going to be dry weather. We're not expecting. We had a couple of sprinkles this morning in Long Island, but that's about it. Look at the futurecast shows that we still have it's you know, a little bit hit or miss. It's mostly north.
You can deal with
Again,
that.
it's still associated with the winds coming off the Great Lakes. It's not always in the form of snow. We have lake effect rain showers as well, depending on the temperature.
So it's warming up a little bit today.
It is. Can you feel the difference?
I did feel the difference. This morning it was still cold, but then I went outside a little while ago. I like to take a walk in the morning when I can.
Oh, you could.
And I usually walk from here. We're on the Upper East Side. I walk over to Central Park. A little bit of that. I like to do that.
Oh, and the leaves are still bright there.
And they are.
Stunning.
It's amazing.
Yeah, now's the time.
What are we looking at for the rest of the week?
So today we're going with highs in the 50s, which is nice. Yesterday we topped it out at 41 in the park, but with the wind chill, it felt like the 30s all day. Now the winds are lighter also. Yesterday we gusted up to 60 miles per hour out across Suffolk County, and today the wind gusts will be as high as 30. So on any average day, I would say it's a windy day.
Yes.
However, compared to yesterday, this is going to be a breeze.
It's okay.
And we stay windy for the next couple of days. We also stay in the 50s. That's a little below normal.
Were you worried about that rain on Sunday?
You got Sunday morning games?
I got a game on Saturday, but it's still, you know, it's the weekend. Are we worried about that?
Well, okay. If you have Sunday morning plans, you might be a little worried.
Brunch plans?
Yes. Or game plans, right? If anyone has football games and stuff, that could be a problem. Now the sun will come through in the afternoon, and that's going to warm us up to 60. Ooh,
60.
That sounds balmy.
60 is not bad at all.
Yeah, we'll see people out in shorts.
Well, you know what? Because sometimes when it goes from the extreme cold to just a little bit warm, we start to wear our shorts. When it's the other way around, that's when you bring out the hoodie.
Hey, look, today I brought out the short sleeves. I had long sleeves yesterday. It was a little better today.
Very, very nice. All right, so we would like to check in with Fabian because he is in Jamaica. It's one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you too, because obviously you have a lot of information about what's going on down there in Jamaica. So, Fabian, can you hear me? Can you hear me? We are zooming in with Fabian Allen. He is in Jamaica on the ground. He is in Manchester Parish. Fabian is a viral sensation in a lot of ways. He's known online as Jamaica Walk By. He produces videos on his Instagram page, on his Facebook page, and he is helping to bring attention to some of the things that are happening down there. You can see this is one of the videos that he posted recently. Fabian, can you hear me? If you can, hello to you and good morning. All right, Fabian, good morning. Can you hear me? I'm not sure if he can hear me. We know that he is in the Manchester Parish. It's a community where there are several houses completely covered by water. And this video that we're looking at here is a video that he took inside a residence. You can see that gentleman there who had lost his home inside. Damage, devastation, so difficult to rebuild after a situation like that. A lot of times here in the U.S., when we see those situations, we see FEMA, emergency management, everyone sort of roll in. And now in a lot of cases, what you do see here is that they have the resources where they will be able to address some of the most critical issues, but certainly international aid will be needed. He's going to pan up here and you can see right through that roof, right into the sky.
Yeah, because you know, Dan, when these things happen, unfortunately, like the first immediate attention is given to health and well-being, feeding folks, water, right? So things like cleanup and destruction like this doesn't really get attention until they can assess where everybody is everybody anyone in need of medical attention gets it, people are being fed. So that's why we're probably still seeing images like this, and it does take more time to deal with the mess, so to speak, as opposed to the health and well-being of folks.
This is the rain as it was happening there in Jamaica. Hurricane Melissa Category 5 hurricane when it made landfall.
Yes.
We're still trying to sort out some of the technical issues with Fabian so we can see him. I don't know if he can hear us. If we, what happens, Dave, if you hit the unmute on that bottom corner there? What happens if you hit
we
that
did.
one?
It's unmuted.
We're unmuted. Okay, so
Can you hear us?
we're unmuted. Fabian, do you hear us at all? Are you listening in? Do you hear us at all, Fabian? We can see him. He's right there. You can see some of the water behind him there.
So it looks like there's some flooding where he's at. Yeah.
Let's try one more time.
Manchester Parish. So we'll try one more time, and then we'll try to reconnect with him. Well, you know what? It's 10:39. We talked about some of the weather happening in our area. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to try to work out some of these technical issues, and hopefully we can talk to Fabian when we come right back. So stay with us.
Yeah, with that. You sent him to that. I'm sick. Or, I mean, get ready.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, Fabian, I hear you.
I'm not sure why I'm not hearing.
We're back on.
Can you hear me, Fabian? All right, so we're checking in with Fabian. You can see these tech. Look, I got my phone here.
Yeah.
I joined the Zoom,
We just
so
heard him.
hopefully he can hear me. Fabian, can you hear us? If you can, just say hello. Say hello.
Blessed.
Yes, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
Actually, I set up this thing, you know?
No, Fabian, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you, Fabian. All right, so now we can hear you, but I don't know if you can hear us. All right, so this is one of those technical issues that we want to talk about, but we do have something else that's affecting people all across this country. It is this issue with botulism. Have you heard about this? It's the baby formula situation that's going on. So, yes, Fabian, can you hear me?
Done?
Yes, there you go. You got me, Fabian? Say something.
Hello, Mr. Bowens?
Yes, can you hear me?
I wonder if you might hear me. No, hear me.
It's okay. I'll turn this one on. Yeah. Okay. Fabian, can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Fabian? All right, we lost him again.
All right.
The beauties of live television. All right, so we'll see if we can get him back. I'm going to drop this microphone out here.
Or just lower, yeah.
Yeah, lower it a little bit. All right. All right, so we're going to try to see if we can get him back maybe toward the end of the show. But right now, we did want to talk about that very important issue that's affecting hundreds of people, thousands of people all across this country. I think we have some video of what's happening here. It is cases of botulism, expanded recall. By Heart recalled all powdered infant formulas nationwide after 15 cases of infant botulism confirmed in 12 different states.
Wow.
Those states including New Jersey, as well as Arizona, California, Illinois, Kentucky, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Texas, and Washington. The FDA linked the illness to 2 batches of By Heart's whole nutrition infant formula, but requested a full recall as more cases surfaced. 15 infants have been hospitalized, no deaths reported. It can be extremely serious. We spoke to a doctor. You know, it's one of those things where we report on these stories, you hear about the recalls, but then when we hear about things that certainly can affect kids, can affect children, we want to try to give our viewers as much information as possible. So I think we talked to a doctor about this. So let's hear what he said.
The name of the bacteria is called Clostridium botulism, but it's the botulinum toxin that the children under the age of 1 in particular are very, very sensitive and particularly sensitive to. The reason being is that their gut, their intestinal lining is not mature. So they ingest something called spores. Spores are the inactivated form of this bacteria, and these spores go into the gut and they germinate. It causes things like droopy eyelids, kind of a weak cough, weak crying, kind of a very tired, lethargic baby. If left unchecked in some cases, it can actually progress to where it affects the muscles that control breathing. Sometimes babies have to be put on respirators for a period of time. So as you can imagine, it is a very serious issue.
All right, so you heard that doctor there talking about some of the symptoms that parents should look out for. Parents should stop using the By Heart formula immediately. Save containers for 30 days. Watch for botulism symptoms, which include poor feeding, weak head control, swallowing issues. Essentially, if you notice something with your infant that is different than maybe something that you saw a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you should just talk to the pediatrician right away. By Heart formula makes about 1% of all U.S. formulas in the U.S., so it's certainly something that we do have to watch. Let's take a look outside. We can take a look at one of our cameras here. This is one of the bridges. There we go. There's a view of Midtown as we look here in the city. It's going to be a chillier day, as we heard Audrey talking about a few minutes ago. We do have a lot going on today. We know that in about 15 minutes or so, Zoran Mamdani and Governor Kathy Hochul, Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani and Kathy Hochul will be at a very important groundbreaking that will be happening up in the Harlem area. So we're going to check in with them to see if we can get some information about what's happening there. And we're also going to swing around to some of the other issues that are very important in the city. So stay with us. We will be right back after this short break. All right, welcome back here to Newsroom Live. It's about 10:48, 10:49. You are watching on our YouTube channel. We're streaming live also on the Fox Local app. Look, if you want to chime in and you think that you have something to say about some of the issues that we've been discussing here this morning, whether it's the government shutdown, whether it's those air traffic controllers, whether it's some of those issues that we talked about between Mayor Eric Adams and Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani, please feel free to chime in on the chat. We will try to get to some of your questions if you have them, maybe some of your comments as well. It's very important. We think, we know that people sometimes will watch this YouTube channel. They'll keep it up during the day. They want to know what's happening. They want to see what's going on. And we do appreciate that. We want to see you as a part of our Fox 5 community. And it's something that we know is important to you, and it is important to us. Another important issue that is happening this morning. Anderson, what's good, my friend? Good morning, and good morning, New York. We appreciate you watching. And we want you to watch this because there is something happening this morning that is a big deal. If we take a look at Live View 3, this is up in Harlem at the National Urban League. It is officially opening its new headquarters in the heart of Manhattan. It is a significant event regardless of who is there, but today we know that Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani as well as Governor Kathy Hochul will be there. Again, this is the National Urban League ribbon-cutting ceremony. They will speak on the importance of what the Urban League is, what it does here in New York City. The league, of course, founded in New York City. This is the new home, and it marks a symbolic return really to where the movement began. Building details, the new 7-story Empowerment Center combines the league's national headquarters, 100 units of affordable housing, first-class retail space. It's something that they have been trying to put together for years and years and years, and it looks like they finally have things where they want them to be. And what an open that they have today. They will have, again, Governor Kathy Hochul will be speaking there along with Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani. It's really a future urban civil rights museum. Will also be there as well, opening in 2026. Now, the design of that, listen to this, the design of that, very interesting. The building features rooms honoring civil rights icons and walls that are filled with historic moments, blending reflection with progress. The mission for this league that so many people know, so many people rely on, so many people have embraced over the years and years and years. The league continues to focus on advocacy, empowerment, closing gaps for underserved Americans. Quote, as one of the directors had said, people said it couldn't be done. We said, stand back and watch we are. It is something that is very significant. So if we can check in with that throughout the rest of the day, we will. But let's check in with this. This is happening in Brooklyn, correct? This is Brooklyn. Yeah. We are taking a live look outside the federal courthouse. This is a man named Luis Ortiz. Are you familiar with Luis Ortiz? He is a Major League Baseball player, along with Emmanuel Clase. They are two pitchers in the major leagues. They were indicted on charges. They took bribes from sports bettors to throw certain types of pitches, including tossing balls in the dirt instead of strikes, to ensure successful bets. And as we saw just a second ago, he exited his SUV, the black SUV that was parked right outside of that federal courthouse in Brooklyn. And we expect that he will be entering the courthouse at some point in the next few minutes. We have our live camera set up out there. What's the significance of this? Okay, so we've heard of some of the betting scandals in Major League Sports recently. Of course, we saw what was happening just a few weeks ago in the NBA. Chauncey Billups, former Detroit Pistons champion. He was indicted for being a part of these illegal poker games that were linked to the mafia. Another player with the Miami Heat, Terry Rozier, he was indicted basically of giving bettors information about when he was going to play and when he wasn't going to play. This is different. What's happening here in Brooklyn, this involves Major League Baseball. So another major league organization dealing with a gambling scandal. Now, according to that particular indictment, there he is, Luis Ortiz. It was unsealed over the weekend, federal court in Brooklyn. The highly paid pitchers, because these guys make a lot of money, well, they took about several $1,000s in payoffs to help two unnamed gamblers from their native Dominican Republic win at least $460,000. Maybe we take my sound down and let's see if we can hear anything that's happening? Are they asking him questions as he walks in? Okay, so it sounds like it's being refed. So if we get some sound out of there, we will let you know. You can see the photographers out there. A lot of interest. There we go.
Make way. Make way. Get back. Get to the side a little bit. Get to the side, guys. Get back. Get back, guys.
Anything you want to say to baseball fans, one of the reporters asked. You can see as he walks inside there with his team, possibly his attorneys, escorted by one of the courthouse police officers there. Again, if you just tuned in, that was Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz, along with a gentleman, a closer for the Cleveland Guardians, the Major League Baseball team in Cleveland. Both of them indicted on charges they took bribes from sports bettors to throw certain types of pitches, including tossing balls in the dirt instead of strikes, to ensure successful bets. That indictment unsealed in Brooklyn. He was in custody up in Boston over the weekend. Well, now he's here in the city. And you saw it right here first on Newsroom Live, him walking into that courthouse in Brooklyn, where the first part of his legal journey will now begin. How long did it take him to get to the major leagues? How many pitches did he throw? How elite was his skill to get where he was, to now be in this situation in a courtroom? It's an issue that these major league sports franchises and sports leagues are dealing with now, as gambling has really been embedded into the heart of what they do. First it was the NBA, now it's Major League Baseball. We'll be keeping track to see what happens next, especially when it comes to this. I think we can take a quick short break, and then when we come back, we can just wrap things up here. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. 10:57, just wrapping up our hour here on Newsroom Live. And we did have a question from a viewer. It's an interesting question, but a pretty simple one. So let's take a look. Brianna asks, when will Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani be sworn in? And the answer is the 1st of 2026, so January 1st. We don't know if it'll happen at the New Year's Eve ball drop, similar to Eric Adams. But we do know there could be a little bit of drama. And the drama was potentially started by the current mayor, Eric Adams. Now, just quickly, I don't know if you remember, but during the campaign, Zoran Mamdani said if Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu ever set foot in New York City, he would call for him to be arrested based on the conflict and situation in Gaza. Well, Mayor Adams, who's been a staunch supporter of Israel, he said something pretty interesting. Maybe he's going to invite Netanyahu to the city on January 1st. Let's play that sound.
I want them to invite him to join me on January 1st here in New York so we could see this rich Jewish community we have here.
I think the mayor is free to spend his final days and weeks and months as he so pleases.
All right, so you heard the mayor and the mayor-elect. A little bit of an interesting conversation that we have there. All right, so we just wanted to leave you with that because that was our question, and we like to make sure we add some context to what is happening here. It is 10:59. Maybe we'll take a look outside as we wrap things up for the day. There we go. That is a live look at Times Square. It is a beautiful day, and I hope you have a good day. This is a video from Weehawken, we believe. Is that the view of the Lincoln Tunnel as we look from? No, that's not the Lincoln Tunnel. But that is the city, and that is what we're looking at here in New York on a beautiful Wednesday. Hope you have a good one, and we will check you out tomorrow.
Thanks for watching Fox 5's Newsroom Live. We're now joining Live Now's non-stop stream of live and breaking news.
In Fulton Market, and the bicyclists today need to be safe. In terms of the future, it is true that protected bike lanes are good on some streets, okay? But now that we have the opportunity for dedicated bus lanes shared with bikes, we think that's the best solution for buses and bikes because it moves people faster and it keeps people safe. The other piece of the curbside protected bike lanes are Augusta Avenue has them. I used to live on Augusta. It's a residential street. Grand Avenue, we've got family-owned businesses that have invested their life savings with the full expectation that they would have curbside parking and deliveries for their customers and their operation. So the question to the bicycle community is this: do you support dedicated bus lanes on Grand Avenue where we have the width and we can make that bus improve faster and that will help bicyclists, or do you want to oppose the dedicated bus lanes? And then between Damon and Ashland, you know, where there's that leftover space, we truly believe that we can keep bicyclists very safe. Again, if we slow down the